What's up, people? I knew I was coming in hot. I'm sorry if your eardrums are bleeding. What is up? It is your boy MM2K, and I'm here with the other host of the show, my homie, Project Storm. Storm, how are you doing today this fine afternoon? I guess we could say it is.
It's not about how I'm doing. It's about how this chat is doing right now, man. All these other early birds up in the house, man. Hey, MM, I've been doing a lot of play testing, man. I've been testing a lot of different things out. Yesterday, the AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution drop. Tested that. xCloud, as you already know, some of y'all know, xCloud is doing something behind the scenes over at Xbox and xCloud side of things, man. We got to talk about that. Stadia just unleashed what I consider the beast, you know what I mean, for millions of people to be able to get access to this. Yo, it's just it's a whole lot going on. And today, y'all, we're just gonna put it out there the way that we do. That's it. All we could do is be real, man. That's all. MM, I'm gonna let you take over before I get too deep into it, because you know I'll keep it running.
No, hey, look, man. It's Stadia Celebration Day because Google TV finally supporting Stadia along with a lot of other Android TV devices. This is great. This is fantastic. But we're going to have real conversations today. You know what I'm saying? In the hopes of people understanding that, you know, we are fully behind and fully support Stadia, the product. We love it and all that other stuff. We look at everything from a full spectrum in culmination with that. So let's have some real conversations. Let's talk. We're going to talk about it. Like you see in the thing, and see in the title, xCloud versus Stadia. It's heating up. It is heating up. We get this is Stadia Day. Yes, this is a great celebration day, but we got to talk about it. It's heating up. We are going to talk about GTV Day, which is Google TV Day. And then we're going to talk about these more summer sales that are out here. Man, some crazy stuff. But before we get into all that, Storm, let me pay these bills real quick, because I know people's eyebrows is percolating like, ooh, real conversations. What's going on here? But first and foremost, this is SSC Podcast, the show that is all things Stadia, weekly. It's a PNTS Network show. If you don't know what PNTS Network is, go over to pntsnetwork.com and check out all the great content we have here. Stuff that is contributed by Project Storm, myself, and a slew of other content creators. But this is a PNTS Network show, all things Stadia, SSC Podcast. Again, hosted by me and Project Storm. It airs on this channel every Wednesday. We want to say 2-3 o'clock-ish.
2 to 3 Eastern.
Yeah, 2 to 3 Eastern every Wednesday here. So definitely mark your calendars for this one. Next, we on Thursdays, we will tell you the Thursday that is coming back, but we do have a show called The Commission Podcast. That is the PNTS Network powwow. We get together, we talk about all things gaming. That show airs on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the MM2K channel. You know what I'm saying? But stay tuned. Be subscribed to the MM2K videos channel to know when that show is coming back. All right. It's going to be a fantastic show when it does come back. All right. On Saturdays, my brother and I, who's my brother's keeper? Project Storm MM2K back on that SML podcast every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a hell of a show this past Saturday, Storm, and it's going to be even better this Saturday. Why? Because it's on Project Storm's channel. You know, when Project Storm is at the helm, it just gets bananas. It's going to be a fantastic show. Check it out, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, either here on Project Storm's channel. If you don't know where his channel is, crawl up from up under your rock, go into our description, check out my brother's link, go sub right now and rock those bells so you get notifications. Then on Sundays, Super Powwow Sundays, as we like to call it, Super PNTS Powwow Sundays, we kick it off with the Revolutionary Storm. That is the podcast with my two brothers, Project Storm again, the co-host of everything, and Stadia Revolution. They talk Stadia gaming, all that stuff, man. Check them out. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, either on Project Storm's channel or Stadia Revolution's channel. Hey, Storm, whose channel is it on this week?
It's going to be on my channel, man. So, I got my hands full. We got SML on my channel. We got Revolutionary Storm on my channel. We're going to be doing big things, though, man. I'm ready for it all.
Absolutely. Then, my brother, when they're ready, it's not ready yet. It's not ready to come out of the oven just yet. My brother takes off his Stadia Revolutionary Storm jacket, puts on his wide jacket, his Yang Meets Yang a gaming jacket, and he goes in at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Snow Bunny Gaming's channel. He co-hosts a show called Yang Meets Yang of Gaming with Snow Bunny Gaming and the homie Rome Rush. You definitely got to check that out. That will be coming back. Are you guys slotted to come back this week, Storm? I'm not 100%
sure. We got to see. Last weekend it was Father's Day, you know what I'm saying? Yep. We took off, it was Mother's Day, then Bunny had to get something taken care of for like a few weeks. And so, then Rome went out of town for vacation. So things happen like this, y'all. But Absolutely. One thing I can tell y'all is I'm out for summer. You know what I'm saying? I'm out for the summer. I don't have to work. I got time to play. I got time to do whatever I want to do, travel, go somewhere with my son, y'all. But I'm going to be gaming. You already know I'm gaming. I got more time to research, too, and to see what people are talking about out here.
Absolutely. So definitely do not miss that show. Last but certainly not least, the show that we're going to be rewarding you on later today, because we doing it at PNTS Network, man. And we love to have the support of you, the viewers, and we love to have the support of everybody that contributes to the network. And when we have different panelists and things like that try new things on the platform, you're going to see a lot more of this. And they want to show their appreciation as well. So we have a show called The Number Show for Stadia. Now, we air that show on Sundays, the first Sunday of every month. Okay? And we've had 2 shows so far. And those shows were fantastic. Some of our biggest shows on this platform. And to show the appreciation for all the support and for those that go above and beyond their support for this platform, the homie Jack Deslip is sponsoring a special giveaway. And I'm going to mention this one more time because we're going to be doing the drawing later today. But he's hosting a special giveaway for members of this channel. If you are a member at any level, we're going to write down your name. We're going to go live. And we're going to do the magic wheel, and we're going to draw a winner. We're going to do that twice. And 2 lucky winners will get a Google TV Chromecast, and they will get a Stadia controller of their choosing, as far as colors and all that fun stuff is concerned. 2 lucky winners that are members of this platform. So here's the thing. If you want to participate in that, it's not too late. I want to say you got up until 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so a little bit less than 4 hours from now to go and sign up and join this channel and become a member at any level. There's 3 different levels at any level, and make yourself eligible for that giveaway. All right. So I wanted to throw that out there, and thank you guys and gals so much for all your support. We love you all. We're talking to other content creators. So you're going to see more great content from people other than Project Storm and myself. We know that y'all love us. We know y'all love us, but then sometimes y'all want to break from the stuff that y'all love. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to put down the old Milwaukee Storm and the fried chicken for a little bit and stick to my salmon and my water. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
We know that y'all love us, but sometimes you got to put what you love to the side, to get some more flavor in there. All right. So again, we're going to be doing that drawing later today. I want to say around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but stay tuned for that. And congratulations in advance to our winners, whoever they may be. But if you want to participate, you got to be a member. All right, Storm, it's time for me to shut the hell up. It got through all that. Now the people want to hear from the man of the hour, Project Storm. Storm, what have you been playing since last episode, brother?
All right, I'll tell you. I play everywhere for the people that's new don't know me, you know what I'm saying? I play everywhere, man. I play in the cloud. I play on native PC. I play Series X,
Yes,
I
sir.
play, back to the cloud though. Back to the cloud because the cloud, oh man, that's why we're here right now, right? A lot of us.
Yes.
Yo. All right, so I got that access to Stadia. I also have access to xCloud, Luna, GeForce Now. Started heavy on GeForce Now. Then I went over to Shadow. So I got a nice little history of cloud gaming experience or whatever, right? But man, it's been mainly Stadia, and that's been the case MM2K. But recently, there's something that's threatening that whole thing, man. That whole thing. Now listen. Don't get too concerned, y'all. Stadians. Don't get too concerned, Stadians. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going anywhere. Never leaving Stadia. Never leaving Stadia. I want to say this one more time. Never leaving Stadia. I'm not going anywhere. Why the hell would I do that when it's the best in the world as far as cloud gaming?
Yes, sir.
Now, with that being said, man, we got a whole lot to talk about. I don't know the order of operations. I don't know how you want to attack this thing today, but I know we got a lot of new people. We got some, man, look, if y'all don't hit that like button with 42 people up in here, can we get to like 20 likes, at least 20 likes, y'all? Because we have a show today, and you have to be a real grown gamer to be up in here today, y'all, because there's nothing but truth that's about to get dropped.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, man, I've been playing Godfall on PC, the FSR AMD for Fidelity Super Resolution or whatever, Super FX, whatever it's called, resolution, y'all. I got a chance to mess around with that at 8K because I just got that 8K, that Samsung Q800T.
Yes.
Entry level 4K for me. I just wanted to see what it was about, and it is worth it so far. It's worth it so far, but I don't want to make this whole show dedicated to 8K, so I better go ahead and skip ahead. I played some PUBG on the Series X and Stadia. Played a little bit of Madden, played a lot of xCloud last night and today because I was like, yo, wait a minute. I'm hearing that they're upgrading things and all this stuff, right? So, of course, I got a heavy dosage of that. I hopped on man, Luna and all. I mean, I've just been playing a whole lot. Just put it like that. A whole lot of different games. Forza, I've been making like 8K videos. You can see them on my channel, Project Storm, right here on YouTube. Just look for the logo. Look in the description. You'll see that's my channel down there. You know what I mean? There's other Project Storms, but they don't game like I do. Some of them don't even game. So check me out, y'all. Check out some of those 8K crispy videos and all that stuff, man. But I'm ready to get it popping.
Oh man, I had to take a sip on that one. Ooh, I had to bring out the old Milwaukee. I was trying to go.
And,
I was trying to go on hiatus.
I was concerned because we haven't been really giving old Milwaukee no love the last few weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's good that it's back, man.
Shout out to the homie Heath Stevens who became a member. Heath is like, look, bro, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I want the Chromecast. I want the Google TV. Hey Heath, I can dig it, brother. Hey Heath, if you win, we got to hook up. Heath is my Pennsylvania neighbor. He's in the state of Pennsylvania as well with me. And we've always been talking for the last few years of hooking up whenever we can. Hey, Heath, I'm going to try to make it happen. My wife has been, she's recovering from surgery. So if I can hand deliver it to you, I'm going to rap to Jack. We'll see what we're going to do. But shout out to Heath for joining. I can dig it. Hey, look, man, the game is to be played, not to be paid. You know what I'm saying? So. I don't even know what the hell that means. I just made that up. But let's go with the show.
Speaking of Jack, man, you got anything to say about the Summer Community Championship, man?
Crap!
You got anything to say about the Summer Community Championship?
Crappity dappity, yes.
I know you're excited. I almost forgot too, but Jack, I'm here, man.
Hey, Jack, look, man. Jack, I'm sorry. That's why I got my bro here with me, man. That's why my bro is here with me all the time.
I'm going to start advertising that real heavy. In the coming days, y'all. Get ready for it.
Absolutely.
Summer Community Championship. Big time. Only on Stadia. Only in the Stadia community.
Only in the Stadia community they doing this. Yes. Look at this. This is the Summer Community Championship. This is going to be a week-long tournament, y'all, where we're going to be giving away grand prizes. I think they said of $1,400 or more. Register for your free chance to win up to $1,400, it says. Let me just read the tweet so I don't be ad-libbing and throwing in my own special sauce. We are so excited to announce that registration for the Summer Community Championship is now open. Register free for your chance to win up to $1,400. You click here. you go to the homie StadiaHunters.com where you can fill out the registration slip. Shout out to Stadia Hunters, man. Hell of a website. Go here. They give you all the information there. They give you all the rules and stuff like that. And that stuff that you need. And shout out to all of the organizers, myself, Clive, Endeavor, John Scar, Vivi, and Jack, the man of the hour himself. So definitely go there, log in, register, all this stuff for your opportunity to win a whole bunch of money just playing video games. Video game. It don't get no better than this, Storm. So yes, go to the Summer CC at, my highlighter for y'all, the Summer CC. Y'all see that right there? Go there and look up the latest tweet for your opportunity to register for this tournament. It's going to be a week-long tournament with rallying points and all that good stuff. But go there, get all the good details, and to win money for video games, man. It don't get any better than that. Thank you, Project Storm, for having me on my job before I got fired.
We gotta have each other's back, man. You know, we gotta have each other's back.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna need your back when I start talking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All this cloud talking a minute.
This cloud stuff. Yeah. It's time for you to cash in your I need your back. Now I need you to have my back. MM2K. It's time for you to cash some tickets in, bro. But with that said, hey, let's get into it, man. No, you know what? I didn't say what I played. Real quick, I've been playing some Division. You guys saw the stream. And as a reminder, me and Storm talked about this earlier. We brought back PNTS Network. We're bringing back the Old Dirty Blasters clan. Now, I know y'all chuckling like, oh, I like that name, whatever. But what that is that was a clan that started off on the original Destiny. It was me, my brother, and a good developer friend of ours. We kind of disbanded. But I like the concept of playing, a lot of these games and stuff like that, and having a clan and us staying together and rallying with each other to meet objectives and things like that. And I also wanted to work with others to try to combine our love for Stadia along with other people that play on different platforms and just our general love of gaming altogether. So what we've done is, again, we've brought back the Old Dirty Blasters clan. I don't have the slip before up right now because I'm not organized as I should be. But what I will do is check me out on Twitter. I'm going to retweet it for those that are interested. And we're starting the clan off first with Division 2. We're doing, and our focus is games that do cross-play with Stadia on other platforms. So Division 2 is our first game because you can play Division 2 on Stadia and PC. And then we're going to talk, and then we're going to, get into Destiny because soon that'll be cross-play. Rainbow Six Siege is going to be cross-play with PC and Luna, all that stuff, right? So we're starting off with Division 2. If you're interested in becoming part of the Old Dirty Blasters clan, reach out to me on Twitter. I'll send you the registration form, all that good stuff so we can have a good old time. All right, time in to talk. Let's walk the walk, Storm. You ready, man? Are you ready? Uh-oh, I don't know if Storm is ready. Storm done went silent. I guess he ain't ready. I guess y'all scared him.
No, I'm ready. I had to close the door real quick. My son's out there playing and stuff. Let's go.
Oh, okay. I was about to say he read all. He's like, oh, hell no. Nah, Storm is ready. That's why it's called Project Storm.
Always ready, man. Let's go. Let's give it.
Let's talk about it, man. Xbox seems to be on the come up, man. It appears to be on the come up. What am I talking about? Let me put this tweet up here for the world to see. This is a tweet from my brother Project Storm. And the tweet reads, xCloud is being upgraded. Here's proof. Random gameplay. Now, if y'all know anything, and people may not like me when I say this, but I'm going to say it, not because I'm biased, but it's the truth. Don't nobody do no breakdown comparison videos like my brother Project Storm. I mean, he don't play around. He goes around, he kicks every tire, shakes every fig leaf. He ain't playing. It'll go anywhere from 30 minutes to 30 hours if it got to, for him to get to every nook and cranny to answer every question that you guys and gals may have. Now, I urge all of y'all after the show to go back and watch this video. You can see the tweet out there right now. xCloud is being upgraded. Here's the proof. Check that video out. But we're going to get like a high level view of what he shown us in that video, because we're going to talk to the man himself and get his thoughts on all this. And we're going to have grown up conversations about this upgrade and what it means not only for cloud gaming, but particularly for Stadia. Okay. So my first thing, well, let me just break it down for y'all real quick. xCloud did some A/B testing, it appears, and randomly just started having certain games upgraded on, according to what they've said recently at GamerStack and a bunch of other places, that they've made upgrades from the Xbox One S server blades to the Xbox One X server blades. Now, there's a little hitch to that, and Storm is going to break that down for y'all, because a lot of people interpret that as in, oh, we're getting the Xbox Series X version of video games. That ain't the case. Storm is going to break it down for y'all. But there has been upgrades, there has been performance tweaks, all that good stuff, and on certain games. Not all of them, but on certain games, right? So Storm is going to break that down. He's going to talk about his experience. We're going to ask him some questions, all that stuff. But you got to understand this, that while we're having this conversation, my brother is trying to be straightforward and honest, so you, as the gamer, can make the best purchasing decision that's good for you, or you just know what's going on out here. And this is a great conversation to have too, because if this is making a dent as far as making another platform more competitive, that's only great for the other platforms and all things, because they're like, oh, whoa, oh, now you doing this, well, we got to do that. And consumers went out in that equation. So don't take this conversation as, well, you trying to spit on my flag, my Luna flag, or my GFN flag, or my Stadia flag. You trying to do that. No, this is a real conversation about what you get in your hands and what this could propose for other platforms. But one of the main things it could propose is they're going to see this, possibly, if it is improved, and they're going to do better. So with all that said, I shut the hell up and I turn it over to my brother Project Storm. Project Storm, tell us what you were doing yesterday with xCloud and what your experience was.
Are you sure you want to go here first, man? Because, you know, some people, I can feel the dragon breath down my back, man. Like, it's Google TV Day and all this, and y'all want to start out with xCloud talk first. Look, there's a reason we're doing this. There's a good reason we're doing this, because the rest of the show, this is the haircut before the party. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So just give me a minute to talk about it, because it's a hot topic, y'all. You're talking about one of Stadia's biggest competitors out there in Xbox or whatever, right? They're making moves. They told us that they were going to upgrade. So for all of you who's been paying attention to the cloud gaming streets and the news out there, then you knew this was inevitable, right? So myself and MM, we've been talking about this a lot in the last few months. You could probably hear us talking about it almost every episode of all of our shows or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, and some people on the Xbox side, man, they're very excited about the potential of Xbox upgrading. Now it seems like a lot of them are not playing xCloud. They're not using it right now. Some of them can't get access, and it's not in their control. But you have to be subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate to even get considered for an invitation to use xCloud right now, right, in its current state. So a lot of those gamers probably want to get in there. I was lucky. I got in day one. I was probably like one of the first batch of people that got access, right? So I've been playing xCloud, and I was playing the beta before that. And, you know, it's still beta, but I was playing it for a while. You know, ever since I can get my paws on it, I've been trying to use it. Now, MM2K, there's so many directions I can go in. When it comes to Stadia, should we be worried, y'all? Should we be worried? Is xCloud about to take over? I'm going to say no, not right now, only because 120 hertz sounds nice, right? Yep. It looks smooth. It feels good when you're playing at 120 hertz. Believe me. But you still have that 1080p. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to leave it at 1080p. Sometimes it does get pixelated or whatever, right? It gets pixelated, and sometimes it looks like 720 to 1080 and all that stuff. And then I'm like, okay, cool. A lot of the games that we know and love, like big AAA blockbusters, they're not on xCloud. A lot of them are not even on xCloud. And it's exclusive games like the Bethesda games that you can have access to and stuff like that that are on xCloud, you might not even be able to play those on xCloud right now at 120 hertz or whatever. So there's some games, and shout out to Windows Central. I might drop a link for y'all in the chat if I don't forget, because I was able to go to Windows Central website to see. And damn, I dropped a link for you. I don't know if you want to pull that link up, but it really highlights how many games were optimized for Xbox Series X and S, right? So I said, you know what, man? Damn, I could put one in together, because see, yesterday, a lot of us on Twitter, it was a small group of us at first, and then it kind of like flared on out there, and more people started hearing about it, and then they started buzzing about it and chirping about it like I was. And then it led to some of us going on this goose chase of trying to find whatever games were optimized, right? So it started with Rainbow Six Siege, for example. That's a game that's coming to Stadia next week. I say Rainbow Six Siege is coming to Stadia next week, y'all.
Yes.
You hear what I'm saying? So all of this right here correlates with Stadia. That's why we're having this discussion, you know? So Rainbow Six Siege was one of the games, like you could clearly go into settings, you could turn VSync off, and then you could see 120 FPS mode or whatever that you can unlock, performance mode. So first time I tried it, I was like, yo, this is not 120 hertz or whatever. This is lucky to be 60 hertz the first time I experienced it, right? Then that wasn't the first stream. Then I had the second stream that MM2K told y'all about. And then I had a better experience, but it still wasn't like a smooth 120 hertz. Now, real quick, the game that was 120 hertz that felt super buttery, that was the star of the show, was the Falconeer. The Falconeer was one of those games that was just like, man, I have a PC with a 3080 in it, y'all. I play Stadia on the same desktop, which is why I haven't even purchased the Google TV yet. You know, I haven't. I have to say that right now. I have not purchased the Google TV yet. So I want to hear from all of you who's gotten your hands on it. I see some people in the chat are already saying that they're having a good experience and all that stuff. That's what's up, right? But for me, this RTX 3080 with hardware acceleration is helping me with everything in the cloud, and especially native PC gaming, right? So I just wanted to throw that in there. And then I'm going to try to break it down and let MM take over, and then we can get back to it if we need to or whatever, right? Depending on how the mood is going and what the chat is saying and all that good stuff, right? So, but the performance overall, I hopped from today, I played over 15 games, like 15 to 20 games. And some of those games include not Falconeer. We got Ori, Rainbow Six Siege, Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid. We got Destiny 2, that was 60 FPS, y'all. Crosscode. There's so many games that's listed on Windows Central site, that article or whatever. So I tried all of them. Overcooked 2, Halo, Spartan Assault or whatever. I just hopped from genre to genre, and the performance in the games that was slated on Windows Central for 120 FPS felt pretty damn good. Like they felt really good. But then I thought about it. I was like, yo, where are the bangers at, man? Like, where are the Hyperscapes and all these games? Now, Hyperscape's not a banger, but that was a game that came out that was listed for 120 hertz, for example. Then you had like some of the Metro games, like Metro Redux and Metro whatever the other ones are. Then you had like Fortnite and all this stuff that's not on Stadia, but it's also not on xCloud. So I'm like, damn, man, it made me think about how many games are not there yet, right? Gears 5 has 120 hertz support for Series X, but for xCloud, that is not there. It's only 60 FPS, right? So I know for a fact, y'all, this is my point. They're not using Xbox Series X blades yet. They're not using that hardware yet. And if they are using Xbox Series X hardware, then it's only being unlocked for the Xbox Series S level of gameplay. You get what I'm saying, y'all?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. For all the people that are on Stadia right now, if you were to ask me, Storm, which one you think is the best, man, that's Stadia all day. It's not even close. Like, it's Stadia because Stadia is up to 4K, buttery smooth. I played on my desktop and it feels like 120 hertz. But at the same time, xCloud, for all you Xbox fans or whatever, they're making moves. Yeah. So this is why we had to have this conversation, because competition, y'all. I told you all in the beginning. Some people were like, nah, I don't see it as competition. Nah, they already said that. They came back and said Stadia is not their competition or whatever. It's PlayStation and all that. And I've been saying the whole time, if you think that Microsoft and Xbox is not, if they don't have their eyes on Stadia as a threat, like a viable threat, Stadia and Luna, but very much so Stadia, with all the moves that Stadia is making right now, you know that they have their eyes locked on Stadia, MM2K in chat, because Stadia is the best in the game right now. As far as tech, they're getting more, like some games on Stadia are not even on xCloud. Can't even access them, right? And vice versa, right? But they do have Madden on Stadia. You could play Madden, Resident Evil Village and all that stuff. You can play that on Xbox. I'm talking about xCloud, y'all. We're talking about the cloud right now. there's so many games that are still not on Xbox, and they've been around forever. But some of those games are on Stadia, like the Metro series and others that I'm not even, Monster Boy and others that I'm not even thinking about right now that's on the Stadia platform already. That's crazy. Not only are they on the Stadia platform, but Monster Boy, the developers themselves came out and said the Stadia is capable of 120. But listen, Madge Bakar and Phil Harrison has said that Stadia is capable, or they're already running games at 120 FPS at the data centers.
Yep.
But by the time it gets to us, it's 60 FPS, y'all. But so Stadia is already capable. Wouldn't we agree that Stadia is already capable? I know we just highlighted that in a recent article a few weeks ago, MM2K.
Yes.
But I just wanted to throw that out there, and then I'm going to shut up, man, because it's a lot. But I know some people care about that stuff. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I tell you this, Xbox Series S can be confirmed. It has been confirmed that this is what they're using. Only Xbox Series S in No Man's Sky. If you have xCloud, you have access to it, you know what I'm talking about. You can go into settings for No Man's Sky, and it literally says in the menu, Xbox Series S. That's what it says. So there it is, man.
Yeah. So
I just want to throw that out there.
I think, if my memory serves me right, shout out to Heath Stevens, because Heath, you was there too, bro. So confirm, because you know me. You know me. I'm on that old Milwaukee. You know how we do in PA with the open cans. No, but let me know if I'm right, Heath, because you were there. You were one of the biggest supporters there. When we watched when I live streamed the Xbox Gamer Stack, right? And remember when Xbox was talking a lot of we're still learning, where in a lot of avenues where Google Stadia had already said that they had already learned this stuff in GDC 2019. We were trying to learn, and we were able to learn this. So in the Game Stack in 2020, you remember that, Heath? Heath was there. I was amazed because I heard we're still trying to learn like 13, 14 times, I believe it was. And they had showed you a demonstration of them trying to, what the current Xbox Series S server blades look like. And they had mentioned that we're going to upgrade to the Xbox Series X server blades, but no mention of ever was there, Storm, that as soon as we upgrade to the Xbox Series X, you're going to get Xbox Series X output. I know that was the hope and the belief in a lot of echo chambers, but they've never said that. The expectancy is sometime this year. But if you've been following Xbox like I have for almost 2 decades, and particularly this, they didn't have this problem in the past, but they have it more prevalently now, is that they talk about a lot of things while they're in flight. It's an industry term, while we're still trying to build things and put it together. They talk about things while they're in flight and give you dates, landing dates, but a lot of times they don't get met. So I beckon back to when the Series X was launched, and I got to find the interview. Phil Harrison somewhere said, or Phil Spencer, somewhere said that xCloud was going to launch alongside of the Series X. See, Phil, which I got to know about Phil Spencer, and again, he's not my favorite head of a gaming division, but I know a lot of people like him, and I don't dislike him because I don't know the guy. But a lot of things that you got to learn about Phil Spencer is he's such he's so enthused over gaming that sometimes he speaks out of order, and people get all and he's admitted to that. He says a lot of times I speak out of order. He said that in the interview. So again, for my friends that thought or think that they're gonna flip a switch and all of a sudden you're gonna get Xbox Series X 4K 60 performance. As soon as they upgrade to server blades, Xbox has never said that. What they have said, Storm, is they said, one slot in the server blade or with an Xbox Series X will give you the performance of 4 Xbox One S's. They talked about that. So maybe, so just like take everything Storm said and digest it.
Yeah, it's not even, and I don't want to get too far in detail. Like I said, I played over 20 games, right? And some of those experiences were smooth, y'all. I'm talking about like 120 hertz smooth, which they should be commended for, right? You can't hate on that. They're making big moves because I'm telling you right now, if Stadia were to go 1080p 120, I would have been like, yeah, let's go. But see, there's this thing, right? Stadia has better streaming quality by far. That's why some people get like it appeals to them. Like the fact that when they see Stadia, they get their hands on it and they play on their devices or their 4K TVs or whatever, and they're mesmerized by what they're seeing and feeling in the cloud. Like they forget that they're playing in the cloud sometimes, if they're lucky. Some people have issues, right? Some of them get frustrated before they troubleshoot. We know that's a fact too. But some of them just really don't have the infrastructure set up at home to be able to stream games on anything, Stadia, xCloud, whatever the case, right? But what I'm saying to y'all is, for the people that worry, like, oh my gosh, like, man, does this mean that xCloud is about to take over the narrative? No, not right now. Not until we see 4K straight from Series X. When we start seeing Series X in No Man's Sky in that menu or whatever, then that's when we'll be like, oh. But I'm never gonna be worried because it's gonna be better for the cloud. It's gonna be better for the industry as a whole, the cloud gaming sector and all that stuff as a whole. So I wanted to point that out there, y'all. That's the most important part because I gave them all the praise I could give them yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I called out the flaws as well. When I showed flaws on Stadia, when I was playing Doom, a couple hiccups, that was the flaws on Stadia. There's not too many flaws when it comes to Stadia. That's the thing. But with xCloud, there's still pixelation and stuff like that. There's still like judder and things like that. Halo, some of their exclusive games are not optimized first. Like, what is that about? What is that about, y'all? Like, does anybody ever wonder that? Like, this is not an attack Xbox. I have a Series X, y'all. And shortly after this, I'm done with the whole conversation. We can move on to the rest of the show, the good stuff, right? The good stuff. I'm done with it, man. But I just want to put it out there because I know people were asking me in the chat, and kudos, shout out to everybody that showed up, man. The first video was called, has something like xCloud upgraded or whatever. Let's take a look or something. Let's find out. Yeah, that was a pretty hot video. People seem to like that one. So I went back and I did another one after I had tested some games, and the Falconeer was the star of the show. The Falconeer and Dirt 5 was definitely hitting like around 120 hertz or whatever. So I just want to let y'all know, like, for all the people out here that's wondering when the 120 hertz is gonna come. But I will say this lastly, y'all. If xCloud is out here and they're doing 1080p 120 hertz Series X running on Series X technology and hardware, right? When Stadia hits 120 hertz, you think they're only going to focus on the 1080p side? Or do y'all think that they might go 4K 120 because they've already been talking about 8K? They skipped 4K 120 and started talking about 8K 120. And then now I know that we could get there for a fact because I've already been experimenting with that technology, y'all. The AV1 codec and all that stuff.
Don't tell them they ain't ready. Don't tell them Storm they ain't ready.
Hey, listen, y'all. Hey, this is why I put stuff in video form. I record this stuff so that people can see. So whenever I get in an argument or a disagreement, I'm like, man, did you check out my video? Did you check out my content? Man, well, sit your ass down. You can't talk to me until you check out the video, bro. Like, check it out, and I'm showing you the proof. Where's your proof? Then I always say, look, man, when it comes to Xbox, don't ask me no questions about Xbox. Don't come at my neck about anything Xbox until you have over 88,000 achievement points like I do. So these are the things that I just put out there for the people who are like, Storm, man, come on, bro. Why you got to be capping and all that, man? I recorded for the world to see.
Exactly.
But anyway, let's keep on going, man, if you don't have anything else to say.
Well, I do want to say this. The chat, I love the cloud, but the chat is killer today. Damn it, I need that comment picker for here, man.
I can't keep up with them, man.
I can't keep up with them. Y'all are killing it today, man. I want to point out just a couple of things. Number one, Eric Lugo. This is a game. Look, this is a Stadia show, but this is a game. This is like a gamer conversation that we're having here. Yeah. And we're glad that you all appreciate it because at the end of the day, regardless of what our favorite platforms are, we're still, what fuels our enjoyment of the platform is the fact that we're gamers at the base. All right.
Yes, sir.
At the base, we're gamers. Okay. And I love what my homie Eric Lugo says in the chat. He says, my only question, man, this is touching my soul, Storm. My only question on next gen is why are we still choosing between graphics and performance? Weren't they supposed to have both without a question?
Man, I know Eric didn't drop that, man.
He dropped that. He dropped
Shout
that
out
gem,
to Eric.
bro. Shout
Hey,
out
look,
there.
and that's a fact right there. That's a fact, and that's why you're hearing people like Doc Dark and Porter Rock
Yes.
and Next Gen 720 and all these guys out here, man, King Thrash and other people really breaking it down in a way that hurts your feelings, right? But see, we're in 2021, and we keep saying that, right?
Yes.
We're playing these games. Some of us buy 4K TVs, like the
Yep.
prices of 4K TVs going down. So some of us have them in our homes. Stadia, is out here talking about, yo, let's see if we could get Stadia directly into these devices that you already own, which they told us they were going to do, y'all. They told us what they were going to do. They told us the grand plan in the beginning, and some of us were so like blinded by whatever else that they forgot about the grand plan that was already given to us. MM2K, all they're doing is delivering on this plan. Now I want to go back to something he said right here, because and then I want to go through some of this. Damn, man, we didn't even go through the chat, bro. I might need help, man. We might need a couple mods to help out. Amanor, I don't know, somebody, man.
Not that fool.
He said he is at 1080 now too. Hey, look, and it shows you that this is a good time. This is a time to definitely celebrate, like you said earlier. Yes. Celebrate the fact that cloud gaming is about to evolve, y'all. That's what I keep talking about. The reason I do it is because it's an evolution in gaming. That's the reason I get so excited about it. This is why I play Stadia so damn much. I've had PCs for decades, right? But I haven't had Stadia. That's for sure. So it just blows my mind, man, when people are like, I don't want to see it happen, kill it off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't even be here having the conversation. And imagine that if these companies listen to some of their haters.
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
Thankfully they don't. But let's go.
I know. But yeah, they got the numbers. They got the evidence. They got the proof. They got the numbers. And all we got is a lot of conjecture. And I hope and I feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we have our opinions and we have the things that we think the paths that they're hitting on. But that's why we try to attach those thoughts and our thought processes to the facts. And that's why we go out.
Hey, man, we should have did a giveaway or something today. Damn. There's a lot of people. When I say, hey, MM, what did I tell you before the show? Let's keep it real with the chat, man. I say, look, man, this is going to be a hot topic. A lot of people are happy about Stadia, Google TV, the integration and all that stuff, Android TV and all this other stuff, man. This is going to be a celebration. It's going to be at 50 plus. Did I not say it?
Absolutely.
50 plus are going to be here today. And I just had that feeling, y'all, because you all are excited just like we are. So I just bear with us. Our excitement might take over at times, but we appreciate y'all being here for sure. It's never too late to hit that like button if you like what you hear. MM. Hey, I don't know. Let's go, man. Let's just give the people what they want and be ourselves when we do it, man.
So I think a big thing for all of us is to take into consideration is that, again, being gamers, we talk about this stuff. It's okay for us to let companies know when we feel like, hey, I want this, or I would like for you to do this and do all that other stuff. And we can do that within decency and order. We ain't got to sit there and F you, Stadia, because you didn't do it. We ain't got to do all that crazy stuff. Because that's when you get ignored. We talked about that last week. You get ignored like that. Trust me, I know. However, seeing this, if you're a Stadia gamer, and you ain't gotta hate on xCloud, you just be like, look, it's not for me. But I do like the fact that they got that 120 out. This is your opportunity to voice back to Stadia. And I shout out to Akash Monger for you, because he did it on Twitter. He turned and he said, hey, look, Stadia, I would appreciate to see 120 on the platform. You know what I'm saying? Now I will say this, Storm. I'm 1,000% with you. It's just doom and gloom for Stadia. No, it just means that the competition is getting a little bit tighter, and that's a good thing. What I will say, though, is that on the heels of this, if you start seeing this type of performance more predominantly with the xCloud games, where you are switching between 60 and 120, I think Stadia got to crank it up a little bit and ensure that all of their games got a 60 frames per second mode. You see what I'm saying? Like, Xbox may have the game catalog for many, but we got the tech over here. You can't give up both. You feel what I'm saying? Even though if you do give up both, I've argued and I put the facts with it to where it's still not doom and gloom for Stadia, because Google and Amazon got an infrastructure to where they can hit rock bottom with the general gaming public and still see crazy financials. For the simple fact, all they got to do is slide Stadia and Luna in with their prize packaging of their gaming content. I ain't gonna go over that again because I've been over that a billion times. You got to check out some more Stadia Dosage content. So they'll be fine at the end of the day. I'm not worried about them. But you still want to have growth. You still want to get mind share. And you don't want to just give up on a segment, a business segment that can be lucrative for you, which is the atypical gaming segment. So to keep up with the Joneses, right, for lack of a better term, I am hopeful that if Microsoft I'm just hopeful altogether. You should be doing this anyway. Man, ensure that all them games got 60 frames per 1080, 60 frames per second mode. Hell, I would even argue 1440p 60 frames per second mode. You know what I'm saying? We churn it up, baby. Let's start churning it up. So that's my take on it. I'm with you 1,000%, Storm. Is it time for me to stomp on my Google TV and throw my controller in the toilet? Hell no. But just understand things is churning up. So keep an eye on that. With that said, Storm, we are going to segue over because I want to go to the homie Cloudbuster's comment, which is a great segue into the next portion. Cloudbuster says Stadia on Chill TV HDR is not working yet. Also, AI upscaler makes game lag. Why is that important, Storm? Because that is a segue into our second story. Our second story is Klablau. Google TV. Official launch is today, good brother. What are your... Well, I tell you what. Let me just give... Let me see if I can pull up the right story. Here goes the Google article on it. Let me see if I can find the Google article on it. Let's see here. Give me a second here. Give me a second here as I talk about this. Here.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Oh, go ahead.
I've already told the people earlier that I have not gotten my hands on the Google TV yet because all you have to do is take a look at a couple videos of me playing on my desktop PC, y'all, with the 3080 and all that stuff, hardware acceleration, variable refresh rate, G-Sync, whatever. Like, I'm just spoiled by that right now. Now, if people start showing me videos and experiences and stuff like that, I'm gonna be like, man, I already have a Chromecast Ultra, right? And I'm definitely seeing that the Google TV is much snappier and all that stuff. I have not done too much research because I know I'm gonna be seeing it the rest of this week, every day, and I'm gonna see it for the entire summer. People talking about it and having hands-on with it and all that stuff. So I'm gonna be learning a whole lot from you all. But the desktop, y'all, for me, is PC-like. It's like native PC gaming on my desktop. So that's what I prefer, that way to play first and then the CCU. But I need to get my hands on that Google TV though, y'all.
Yeah. I will say this, that I have experience with the Google TV. Sorry, I got distracted, y'all. Hey, Storm, I can't wait till after the show to tell you something, brother. It's about to happen, brother. It's about to happen. We're about to drop it on them. You know, it took them it took forever in the day, Storm. You know what, we was trying to get ready, but we're about to drop it on them. I just sent the final bag, Storm. I'm sorry. I can't contain myself.
Well,
I can't contain myself.
Coming soon.
Woo! My God! Wait till you see what I see. Woo-hoo. I won't show it to you live on air because you'll get distracted too. But
yeah, let's do it.
But I have the Google TV side loaded. But we're going to get into that. That's a different experience opposed to what we're getting today. Let me put this on the screen. Let me first get out of the...
And while you're doing it, I know some people are having issues, man. Shout out to Dominicano. He should be up in here somewhere if he's not working or whatever. Oh, there he is. Dominicano 791J.
What's up, brother?
You know, so say, hey, this is the beautiful thing about the Stadia community and all that stuff, y'all. Like, you could throw a tweet out there, you know what I'm saying, direct it to somebody that's in the community or whatever. And I don't think now one person is going to sit there and ignore you. You know what I mean? Not that I know. So Dominicano and others, shout out to so many other people that's been out like talking about the issues they were having. And I know some of you tried to get access to it before it had officially launched or whatever. Like Monday, there was a workaround. Shout out to some people out there that I know. But man, I don't know. Like, is it working? Is it live right now for the people?
For a lot of people,
because I've been doing so much other research and stuff, man.
Absolutely, no, definitely. And if we could clone ourselves, we would. But I mean, we might need the help of the chat. But just what Cloudbuster said is so important because I'm gonna be honest with you, Storm. One of my pet peeves about GFN is that their argument was, okay, if stream quality is your thing and you want good stream quality for TV, go pick up our $200 device, which has AI upscaling, and you'll get good. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't like that proposal. I don't like that at all, because cloud gaming is all about is all about inexpensive gaming. Me not having to lug around hardware, even though the Thingy Pro isn't bulky, it ain't small like a dongle. You know what I'm saying? Me having to lug around stuff in order for me to get the great fidelity. No, get your tech up to par and give me that great fidelity, whether I'm playing on a TV or playing on a soda can. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else is trying to do. That was always my pet peeve. Shout out to the homie Doc Dark though. Doc Dark was like, all right, hold on. MM2K and Project Storm and Stadia, Dosage, and all their viewers and supporters hit me with this Stadia thing, and my mind's blown. Nah, this can't be the only one, because Stadia, you know what I'm saying, is hated all in the news. It can't be like this. The other platforms got to be better. So what did my brother do, Storm? He went to Best Buy and got him an NVIDIA Shield Pro. And was like, I'm going to hook up GFN on this. GFN, if I'm buying a $200 device, GFN is going to blow away Stadia on this. It may not blow it away on phones. It may not blow it away on PCs, but it's going to blow it away on TVs because of this NVIDIA Shield Pro. Bro hooked it up and was like, meow, meow, meow. He said, that was hot garbage, hot diggity trash, and took it back. Here's the kicker, though. The AI upscaling that's in the NVIDIA Shield Pro that was supposed to make GFN better, but I'm hearing from different accounts really doesn't make all that difference. It's supposed to have an impact on Stadia too. So now that you're getting that support on NVIDIA Shield Pro, which at first I thought it was crazy, like why is NVIDIA letting Stadia getting support in Stadia? This is crazy.
I see what you're about to do here. I like where you're going. I like
you
where
see
you're
what I'm saying? Like why are they doing this here? You know what I mean? But it could make sense. Like they're probably saying we're playing ball, but now that Stadia is installed on there,
oh man,
it ain't working too hot. You feel what I'm saying? So Cloudbusters, it's interesting that you brought that up, because that had me contemplating breaking what my motif was, which is cloud gaming needs to be inexpensive. So I'm not buying it because I already got burnt. I'm gonna shut up after I say this. Storm, I already got burnt with Amazon on this. Before Luna even came out, in preparation for all this, I was buying different Android boxes, sending them back, Android, trying to test out xCloud sideload stuff on their GFN, and nothing was working. So then, I finally bought the Fire TV Cube. I checked out the specs, checked out the CPU and the APU and everything that was in it. I was like, this mug is beefed up for a streaming box. Got it. And it didn't work well with the side loader stuff, but I said, okay, I ain't gonna worry about it. When Luna comes, it'll work for Luna. That's good enough for me. Luna drops, and come to find out that Luna works better on the damn Fire Stick TV. So that was like $120 that I wasted on that. So I got burnt with Luna on that, or burnt from Amazon on that old deal. I said, I'm not dropping another $100 on another streaming device just for cloud gaming. And I was willing to break the bank for this NVIDIA Shield Pro. So again, shout out to Cloudbusters for bringing that up. Thank you. But keep an eye on that, y'all, because there could be some janky stuff going on. But all together, Storm, my question for you, even me and you both, you and I both, have not tried this new version yet. And we will. I mean, I got one downstairs. I'll try it. And I know you'll try it once you get access to it.
Waiting on the people, man. I'm waiting on the people's word. You know, if somebody says, go get it right now. If you know me, you know what I like, you know, and I like that buttery smooth performance that I'm getting on the desktop, and I like that CCU performance, y'all. So if there's anything like that or better, I got to get one.
My thing is, what are your thoughts on the support, though? You know, like,
well,
go ahead, brother.
MM, it's so amazing, man. Just looking at the tweet that's still up on the screen right now, man, how made by Google. Somebody just brought that up. Like, how come? It's funny how this stuff works, right? When I always try to tell people that, you know, like you never know who's watching on social media or whatever, and you know, so there's too many things happening that can't be coincidences, right? It can't be a coincidence. So somebody was just asking, and I know Rev knows what I'm talking about. Stadia Revolution. Shout out to Rev, man.
Shout out to Rev.
Somebody was just had questions and concerns about Made by Google. And I remember a conversation happening, and this is not to, get at anybody or attack anybody or anything like that. It's not even in that direction. But somebody brought up made by Google recently, and then they're like, hey, is Stadia under made by Google and all this stuff? I remember seeing that on Twitter because I remember things, y'all. But then now look at this right here. They're even celebrating the launch of the integration, the launch and all this stuff, man. This is like what you want to see. You just want to see this right here. Some people have criticized Stadia Google for not getting behind Stadia in a way that they feel that they should. I don't know, y'all. Like, to me, this stuff right here is kind of like, this is like the Super Bowl, almost. This is almost the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? The Super Bowl is going to happen when we get games like a Battlefield or whatever. When we get that announced and things like that for this year, that's going to be this year's Super Bowl. For me, Battlefield 2042 coming to the platform, something like that, right? Now, I'm not saying they haven't been making major splashes in M2K. They've been killing it, bro. But these are things that you and I knew. We have been telling the people this since last year. We have going into 2021 saying the same thing, keeping it consistent, and all that. This is what Stadia is going to do. I mean, you was breaking down that 1% and 2% business and all that. I'm sitting back and I'm breaking down like, yo, man, this is Stadia's move. This is the next move right here. It's going to be a big summer for Stadia. They're not going to wait to the fall. They have all these announcements to make. They have to start making them right now in the middle of the year. In the summer. So that's why we came up and told the people that Stadia was going to have a big summer. Well, I'd be damned if they're not having a big kickoff to the summer, y'all. I mean, and it's going to continue. It's going to continue. This right here is kind of like, this is like Stadia saying, we're back. Our marketing is ready to go. We're gearing up. T-10. This is nothing. This is nothing right here. I'm telling y'all, I have that feeling the games are going to come. More big games are coming. Starting with Rainbow Six Siege next week. Next week, some people still asking about Arc, but what this does right here, MM2K, is it puts Stadia in the homes of millions more people, right? It puts Stadia in the homes and possibly in the hands of more people who are going to realize that, hey, man, you want a gaming console? I can't get it. Well, here's this advertisement. Here's this thing I keep hearing about. A coworker told me about this Stadia thing. I mean, it's worth a shot. They said it's free, right? Like that type of dialogue really happens, right? It does. Now you're not talking about 500 more CCUs or Premier Editions going to people's home with Resident Evil. You're not talking about 1,000 or tens of thousands more of those. You're talking about overnight people having access to many more devices and many more ways to play Stadia, y'all. It's crazy when you think about that. And it's free. And man, you were talking about the price of whatever, you were breaking down numbers and stuff like that. Free 99. I could jump on Stadia and play up to 20-something games right now that I don't even really have to buy. What? I could try it to see how the service works on my internet.
Yeah.
What? Hold on. You telling me they do have games like Destiny 2? I love that game. Others out there that's free to play? What? Are you serious? And then how much is the Stadia Pro subscription? I heard about Stadia Pro. How much is that? It has to be $14.99 like Game Pass Ultimate. Nah, it's only $9.99. What? Are you serious? So this right here, y'all, is how I can see things shaking out. Now, we know that Stadia is growing. Shout out to Jack and MM2K for bringing us the numbers every, how many Sundays? One Sunday, which Sunday of the month, Last Sunday of the month?
The first Sunday of every month.
First Sunday of every month, man. They're bringing us the numbers, and we know that Stadia is growing. That has been confirmed by ex-community manager or community manager Grace Yang. Did you find out what Grace is doing right now?
I want to know her official title, man,
because she used to be community manager. I used to
I think she's still a community manager. The social media manager is the homegirl, Princessology.
That's shocking. Shocker.
Yeah,
that's shocking. All right, so they've been. So Grace has told us, man, and we know the Stadia community is growing. People, you could just see the new people on Twitter alone that's just getting their hands on Stadia every week. You see more and more people talking about, man, thank you, Stadia, thanking Stadia, thanking Google for Stadia.
Yep.
Come on, man. You saw Aaron Hoffman John just get out here and thank all the dads, the Dadians, or whatever they're calling, all the dads that play Stadia. You know what I'm saying? On Father's Day. Sending a big shout out to us. Did you see that, MM?
Oh, yeah, I caught that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, man, hey, look. That has nothing to do with where we're headed, though. The future of this thing is bright. How do we know? Because moves like this keeps being made. If I was ready to kill and turn out the lights, if I was ready to turn the lights out, MM, I'm not making no more moves, man. I'm figuring out a way to go ahead and send this thing underground.
Yeah, nobody
How
does
can
that.
I do it in the stealthiest way?
Yeah,
you know,
nobody does that. I mean,
hey, it is what it is. I'm excited, y'all. I really want to know after this show. I'm gonna go look at all the people's experiences with Google TV, good and bad, and in between. Right? That's what I want to see. If I get hyped enough, you're gonna see me post a picture of a Google TV device, even though I don't need it because Stadia works so damn well in the browser. Now that's another thing right there that should just slap. Like the competition should just wake up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Stadia is running like this up to 4K in a web browser. Not only just one web browser, multiple web browsers. Now you're throwing in Google TV and TCL and Sony and LG and others and the Walmart device and what else, man? I'm missing Android TV. I'm missing it's crazy. That's how I feel about that whole thing. Crazy.
Shout out to Aminar. He said this silly ass. He says there's only 58 Stadia users and they all are in this chat. I can't do this guy no more. I can't do him no more.
And Aminar, there's only 0 people playing Ratchet and Clank at native 4K. 60
FPS.
Get out of here with all that. Get out of here.
On. Hey, don't do that to him. Come on, man.
I love my PlayStation people and my Xbox people, man.
Don't do that.
I had to get Aminar a little bit of his own medicine today, man. But that's my homie though. That's my homie, y'all. He's not a real troll. He's earned his stripes.
Oh, you know man. Why you slice him up like that? Why you gun butter Aminar like that?
How many people are playing Ratchet and Clank at native 4K 60 FPS, man?
Call an ambulance. Golly. No,
I'm just man, Aminar, he knows how we do things, y'all. Let's have some fun, man. It's a beautiful day where I am, and hopefully it's a beautiful day where you all are.
It's too hot, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's too hot.
Let's get into this show. Let's have some fun, man.
It's too hot where I'm at. I can't do all this steam. I feel like some steamed broccoli out this piece. Hey, but look.
Shout out, hey, hold. Before we do anything else, man, let me get some of this chat real quick. I'm just going to highlight some people, man. We got Randy B up in here.
Randy B.
L. Heath Stevens always.
Shout out.
Dominicano always. Chariot Man Gaming is in the house, y'all. If Chariot Man, I tell you what, if something's not working right, you better believe Chariot Man Gaming is going to throw it into the Bering Sea. I'm telling you right now, ain't nothing like. Check out Chariot Man Gaming content, man. The brother's real. He's already chopped up something about this Google TV thing. We got Aminar, of course, my dog. We got Bibbidi Bop in the house. L Boogie is up in here. Kelso Runnels is up in here. And Mike is in here. Cloud Busters in the house, y'all. Man, who else? We got Owen and Fifth Element Elsa's in the house. We have G Million. And now your mama knows is up in here. We got Roger. We have Tree Kick, TJ. I think I'm saying TJ. I'm just going to say TJ for right now. Y'all know who I'm talking about. We got Elenchus Returns. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Ron Slusher's in the house, y'all. Who else, MM? I think, and I know we got more people than that, y'all. But for right now, Eric Lugo is in the building, man. Because I forgot to shout y'all out earlier, so I got to do this right now before we proceed. Next, we go hard. Is in the place. We have East 10th. Damn, that sounds like a cool ass street to hang out. You know what I'm saying? East 10th is in the house. We also have Stadia Dosage News up in here, y'all. Project Storm, you know he's in the building. We got Tommy Rocks 81. Man. Lukey 6, Caliber Killer. It's gonna be one of those fire shows, man. And we're just getting warmed up, y'all. We're just getting warmed up.
Alrighty, y'all.
Charles Arden is in the house. 4 Scars Gaming is up in here, man. John Scar, the brother. Check him out. B. Floyd, Slush Pup. Who else? I think that's about. We got Zarina K in the place. And Brian Brown. Let's go. Collins Dynasty is right there, too. Thank y'all for being here.
All right, y'all. So let's do this. Let's get y'all's thoughts on the Google TV integration. I mean, I was checking Twitter, scrolling through Twitter while my good brother Storm was shouting out all the lovely supporters out there. I'm seeing a lot of people are upset with NVIDIA Shield Pro, Storm. They hot. They're mad at them. So let's do this. Let us know what your experiences are in the chat. I do want to highlight this, though, while I got it on the screen. This is 9 to 5 Google. Now, let me say this. 9 to 5 Google, great site, and we refer to them all the time. We may not always agree with their personal takes, but that's okay. You can't be wrong on how you feel, but I'm just saying, 9 to 5's opinions on this may not represent the entire community at large. Okay, I just want to put that out there. They got an article out here, or in this case it may, so let us know. Hands-on, Stadia for Android TV is a quirky but suitable replacement for Chromecast Ultra, and then they have updated. Since the launch of the Chromecast with Google TV back in October, they say it's been downright bizarre. Oh gosh, I should have read this first. Downright bizarre that Stadia, Google's premier game streaming service, was not available on the company's newest streaming hardware. Instead, to officially play on TVs, players were focused to purchase a Chromecast Ultra. Look, okay, I got to stop right there. I don't know if we're going to go through this. Oh, and nothing against. I love Kyle, who wrote this article. I really love him. I don't have to agree with him.
Kyle does some good stuff, man.
He does some good stuff. Yeah, but I'm going to stop right here. Just let me we'll save that article for another time. Here, I just got a feeling of where it's going to go. It's not bizarre. It makes 1,000%, especially if you look at
and that was before it even launched. Like I'm looking at June 23rd. That was before it launched or whatever. So that I don't know. That's why we need you all to let us know what it's really like right now.
Yeah, well, no, this is today.
Oh, I saw June 23rd. Okay, maybe. Yeah, okay, you're right. It is today.
Yeah, so this is today. Yep.
So I read it further down that when he said it launches on June 23rd.
Oh, like yeah. I got it. Oh, you know what? No. You're right. Because they wrote this article last night, and then because it was starting to roll out to some people, or there was a hack or a bypass. You're absolutely right. And he updated it, and that's why it says June 23rd, because we learned from the whole situation with what do you call that damn game, the Journey to the Savage Planet, that when they make updates, they redate the article. With that said, it's not bizarre. People may have found it inconvenient, but anybody technically advanced should know why they did it. The Stadia app was generated as far as working on the dongle for the casting device, not a device that you use where you can install directly to the hard drive, right? In the fashion that you do like a Fire TV or whatever. If that's a bunch of bibble babble, try to sideload before all this happened, before the Google TV even came out or was even advertised, was even mentioned. Try sideloading Stadia on any other Android device. It was like pulling teeth from a turtle. Okay, the Stadia app together, Storm, just wasn't made for that. So they had to make it for the Google TV. And what they weren't going to do is they weren't going to hold back the potential of the Google TV and say, well, we're going to wait till next summer, when you saw the explosiveness of what happened with Google TV this holiday season, right? Why would you? They're not going to wait. They're not going to hold up on that opportunity. So bizarre, inconvenient, yes, and maybe not on the same page, yes, because should it have been possible that they worked diligently to make the app ready for Google TV in December? Or maybe, but bizarre, no. We know bizarre means I can't put together why it didn't happen. We can put together why it didn't happen. The app updates weren't ready at time, and they were not holding back Google TV. It makes sense. Does it make sense that it wasn't ready? Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But we talked about that on SML this past week. So we're just gonna hold off on this article right here, just because I thought it's going down a different path than I thought. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna hold on to that. We love Kyle. All right. So what are your thoughts? Let's see what they're saying in the chat, Storm. Randy B says, I read they're going to be talking about Stadia and what they've been working on at the Game Dev Summit. That's going to be dope. Do we got any other, shout out to Randy B for that. We got any other accounts About how
let's see. Hold on.
Yep.
Let's see. He said I just downloaded Stadia to my phone and Chromecast with Google TV. So Heath, let us know what that experience is like after you get some time into it, man. You know, we got Cloudbusters saying that you can stream Stadia to YouTube when using Chromecast and just log in on your phone desktop mode. Quality is excellent. You know. That is, yep. Man. And think about that. See, now that he has me on this YouTube integration stuff and all that, that's really still MM2K. That right there is going to be the avalanche if the competition is not careful. Like if they slip and they let Google go ahead and hit that switch eventually to give us better YouTube integration and more like higher resolutions out there, higher resolution streaming than 1080p and all that good stuff for the content creators and all that, man. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. So when we're talking future, you're talking about more deals behind the scenes. You're talking about better YouTube integration, better marketing, promotion, and stuff like that, man, for the entire world. And you're just talking about growth. You're talking about rolling out to more countries, more territories, and stuff like that. And it's just so many things that they could do that we could foresee right now. Imagine the things that we can't foresee. Like the type of partnerships that they can have with somebody like Phil Harrison at the helm or whatever, even though people drive me crazy when they're calling for him to be excommunicated or something. Like, I'm like, yo, Phil Harrison seems to be that dude. You know what I mean? Just let's ride out. Let's get a man like a few years or whatever, see what he's capable of, and we'll go from there. But let me see. I need to close this door because my son is out there. He's doing his thing right now. You
go ahead and close the door because I'm about to make a comment here. The show's going to go in a different direction. So, Cloud Gaming Extreme. I don't know who this is. Is this Marchief? Marchief, let's do this. If you want to come on the show, I can invite you in the Discord right now. We could talk about why you think we're suppressing information. We're not suppressing any information. The article is out there. We're not the all-seeing eye of what information gets broadcasted. The article is out there. It doesn't survive off of Stadia Dosage reporting it or not. I don't want to use the article as an example of an account of what people are experiencing with Stadia, because in looking at how this article starts, it's going down the path that it doesn't match to what I'm seeing. So this is not about me trying to create a scale of, let me throw some negative stuff in there with some positive. We've already talked negative. I don't want to say negative. We've already talked critical. I don't like using the word negative because it's like you're trying to artificially create some type of balance. We don't do that. What we do is we talk about the reality of things. I don't think, and as this article started, it didn't start off on a realistic plane. And we asked for realistic instances of what people are experiencing with Google TV. So this article wasn't starting off realistic as far as we're concerned, but people can watch it. But if you want to, Ace, you already got access to the Discord. Let's do it, bucko. You got some time right now? Are you free? Let us know in the chat if you're free and we can let you in the Discord. I think it'll be a great conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But let us know, but we'll continue on. But that's why we didn't put it in there. We're trying to look for a realistic plane of what people are experiencing with Stadia. We've already highlighted NVIDIA and how the issues that there were with NVIDIA, Ace. We don't do, we got to pick out some negative. That's artificially trying to create a balance. That's not what we do here. So what I want a realistic slither of what the majority of people are experiencing with the Stadia platform on these other devices. As I started reading this article, it wasn't looking like it was coming from a realistic slant. So we'll wait for another period. And I was trying to be nice about it. Only reason why, and I love Kyle, I just don't agree with the take. I don't think it's from a realistic plane as it starts off, but we'll read the article at another time and we'll talk about it. But the bigger thing is us making sure that we're getting a real slither of what's happening. We've been reading positive chats and been reading negative chats. So, yep. All right. Let us know when you're ready and come on the show. We can talk about it. But until Ace is ready, let's continue on. So if anybody else in the chat has any any thoughts on what their experience has been, then definitely let us know. But I can tell you my experience with Google TV, with it side-loaded. There were benefits just from the side-loaded app, but this is different from the side-loaded app, Storm. Like, for instance, let me do this. Let me see if I can find the, here we go. We got it right here.
Man, Bop, don't come up in here talking AV1, man. Don't come up in here talking AV1 codec and all that, because you know the one thing I want somebody to tell me is, guess what? AV1 codec is integrated. Right now, I think it's VP9. I heard some buzz about VP9.2 or something. I don't know. But AV1, I know they were talking upgrading all devices in 2021 to the AV1 codec. I remember sharing that and reading a few articles talking about that. But I don't know if AV1 made it into this right now. I know this according to MM2K, we were talking before the show, and according to MM, correct me if I'm wrong, like we're hearing that this is only capable of 60 hertz right now, right?
Yeah. But, if you look at the specs, that's going to be
something that we're going to keep our eyes and ears open, Bibbidi Bop, on that one, man. Let me know if you find anything. Chat, you guys do the same thing. Share. Let's share what we can find.
Yep. All right, so here goes another. Hold on one second. Here goes another Google TV, Google 9 to 5 Google article. Hold on one second, Ace. That shows us that this Android TV app, the one that I have right now, side-loaded, is completely different from the one that is officially supported right now. And this is another article from Kyle Bradshaw. It says, yesterday, Google launched a new app in preparation for Stadia to be available on Android TV and Google TV devices. We found that the new Android TV is designed completely different from how Stadia Android works. It talks about reduced storage space, which again is key here. And again, and this kind of contradicts in why we didn't show that other article from Kyle, because it has reduced storage space. It has improved web technology, Flutter for web, all this other stuff. So definitely check out that article, and it explains to you the difference on what they had to do to the app that's going to be working on a device that has a hard drive space that works more like a Fire TV opposed to like a casting device. But Storm, what are your thoughts on that as I try to get Ace in here? What are your thoughts?
Oh, man, I mean, I just want to say this. You know me, I got to say, we've definitely touched on people's opinion and all that stuff. And, you know, I just had to say, you know, me and you, we don't have to agree on everything, but I will say I'm right down the middle as far as your thoughts and my own thoughts. And Cal, I mean, he was breaking down something, he was breaking down what he believed, and we have definitely highlighted articles like that, and kind of like called out things that we didn't think was based on facts, some things that was heavily opinionated and all that. So I'm kind of stuck on that part, you know. So I want to go back and read that whole thing to see what the deal is. But I know where you're coming from. Where you're coming from is, here we go with this. You know, we deal with it so much that you hate to see it at a time like this, on an occasion like this, man, with a launch like Google TV. And here we are with the kind of like the skeptics and the people that's hesitant to give it full praise because it should have already released. Like, I think that's where you're coming from. If I'm wrong, correct me, man. But that's how we kind of handle things, you know. Like, for me, I just call it like it is, y'all. Like, the thing is, if I highlighted on I think it was last week's SSC or SML this past Saturday, right? MM2K hosted that one. I called out how a lot of articles came out with the word finally. Finally, Google Stadia, you know, is gonna be, you're gonna be able to play Stadia, whatever, on Google TV and Android devices and stuff like that, right? Finally, and then as soon as one journalist used the word finally, like 6 to 8 other people used the word finally in their articles. Like, it was crazy. So it's, you know, sometimes that kind of stuff can start an avalanche, and it could turn into kind of like borderline misleading and stuff, or negativity and all that. So I get where you're coming from, but I do want to hear what Ace has to say on the matter, man, because, you know, me, I call it like it is. If I feel like the guy was just being honest or whatever, then I'll be like, okay, I see what he said. But the tone that he set was kind of like, here we go. it was kind of cringe, man. So
yeah. Again, and then he has another article
right there.
There's an article, and again, I don't want to attack Kyle.
Yeah, it's not an
I don't
attack,
even want to
man,
attack Kyle. I mean, I love what Kyle does, and I ain't got to agree with him. It's just it wasn't a good representation of what we did. But we're gonna bring Ace in here because I want to talk about this whole theory of artificially creating negative stuff just to create some type of balance. I want to get him in here. Ace, I sent you an invite in our personal chat for you to join PNTS Network. So if you could do me a favor, once you're in there, type something in the general chat, my friend, and I'll get you in our Discord. Just type something in where it says anywhere where it says general chat, because I can't see you on the side for some reason.
That's the real deal. And while you're doing that, let me go ahead and hit some more of this chat up, man. Let's see what's going on. We got Kessel Runner right here talking to Ben. First, let me say, Ben came in and said, I was hoping for a UI refresh, but they just copied the CCU layout. He also says, I understand that is the first rollout, but they've been working on this for a while. They promised it months and months ago, and it feels like it was rushed anyway, right? Then Kessel Runner chimed in and said, Ben, all right, and I'm reading this because I want to give some thoughts on it too. But Ben, he said that Ben, they did say this was the first version of the software on Chromecast with Google TV. So typical Google fashion, they will make improvements over time. They even mentioned assistant capabilities coming as well. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to take time for this stuff to mature. I want to go back to AMD Fidelity Super FX or whatever it is, the FSR. I want to go back to FSR. FSR just dropped yesterday for all you PC gamers out there who knows about DLSS and FSR and all that stuff. Like, it just dropped. It was day one. You got to give it time to mature. So I see what Kessel Run is saying right there. Like, some of these things you have to allow time to mature. But I think, and I'll just be honest here, I think sometimes people they're ready to fire off on everything Stadia and they don't thoroughly think things through, or they don't give it a fair opportunity, for it to do its thing. Like, that's why. So the MM in chat, this is why sometimes I get caught into how can you say this about Stadia, but you're not saying this about Xbox or whatever, for example, or PlayStation or Nintendo or whoever else is in this gaming industry? How come you're not criticizing them the same way? What's going on here? That's why we get caught up in those situations, man. But all we could do is keep it real.
Yeah, I mean, look, they never promised a UI update. Would they benefit from a UI update? Yeah, sure they would benefit from a UI update. Is the UI update the make or break of this? To me, no. So that's why I don't.
I tell you this. Let me throw something in. I have a Series X. Series X launched with the same UI as the damn Xbox One X that I had just paid $500 for. But that didn't kill the whole experience for me. You know what I mean? So I just want to throw things out. Like, sometimes you got to wait for something, a new device, to get feature rich.
All right. Hey, look, we got Ace in the house. Ace, can you speak, or is everything working?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Great,
Ace in the building. What's going on?
We got Ace in the building.
Good, man. What's good,
Ace
y'all?
Ace from CGX in the house. Now, Ace, I wanted to bring you in here, good brother, because you made a slanderous comment. No, it's cool. You made a comment in the chat, and you asked, why are we suppressing Stadia bad news? Help me understand that comment. Help me where you were coming from with that comment. Why you said we're suppressing the bad news?
Nah. First of all, I appreciate you guys having me on this show. Second of all, it's quite interesting the way you brought up that article. Like, first of all, you're like, all right, let's pull this up. And then you pulled it up, and then you're reading it, and then you said, like, I should have read it before I started talking about it. And then started off, right, talking, like, bad about the experience. The article gets better. They actually end up talking about how good the experience is, because I read that article earlier today. But then, I don't know, just like I see this happening, not just you, but amongst some diehard Stadia fans, right? They but like, if there's anything that talks negatively about Stadia, like, it's not talked about, or if someone has an opinion about it, they're bashed because someone is talking bad about Stadia. My thing is like, if there's bad press, air it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about the bad press. Y'all do a good job talking positively about Google Stadia, which I respect 100%. Cloud is cloud. The success of cloud is great for all of us content creators. But my thing is, what I'm saying, if there's negativity as well, like, just address that as well. Okay. And this article, I felt like y'all were just kind of moving past that, so that's where my comment came from.
Gotcha. Okay, so here's just as a quick, and that's a great point. That's a great point. Let me just counter it with this. What we do here is we go with the most fathomable path forward, the most factually based path forward, and we try to pivot off of facts. We don't look at good or bad. We look at factual. So if you look at, like, for instance, and again, not to toot our own horns, but if you look at all the stuff that we predicted, and if you can find anything that we predicted or lanes or things that we've said where we've been wrong, definitely point it out. But because we focus on facts, when we start seeing what we call janky stuff that doesn't look factual, we do back away from it. Now, that was my bad that I read the article on air and I didn't read the article in advance, and I could have avoided that. But first and foremost, if you said that the article gets better and it gets more positive after the fact.
Yep. If you keep reading it, they do talk about the experience.
But here's the thing here. And not to be mean, but I don't care, because I'm not worried about positive or good. I'm worried about factual. So being that they're starting off in factual, it doesn't matter if he says, I rub Stadia under my arms and I don't need deodorant for a year. It started off on a non-factual plane, so I'm done with the article. You understand what I'm saying?
So can you pull that article up again and highlight where it was not factual?
Where he talked about, I took the article down, but where he talked about it's mind-boggling or something, or why it was bizarre on why Stadia wasn't available with the Chromecast. With the new Chromecast Ultra, why it wasn't available at launch with the Chromecast Ultra. It may have been. Go ahead, Storm. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I have an issue with that. All right, so things are not ready sometimes. Ace, right. you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Y'all chat,
Absolutely.
Everybody. Some things are just not ready, man. They're just not ready at times.
True.
And so and he's not wrong for saying bizarre. He's not wrong. Alex is not wrong for saying, or Kyle, is not wrong for saying bizarre, right? That's what he feels. Like, he's like, this is Google we're talking about, Like, they should have had this thing ready, but devices and products are not ready every day. So they have the games that we play are not ready. They push them back and stuff like that. But I feel like now, Ace, this is what I wanted to ask Ace, Like, Ace, you don't feel like for a little bit that it can be unbalanced sometimes when it comes to the people who are like quick to attack something Stadia related versus quick to attack whatever their favorite platform is? I'm talking about whatever their platform is.
100%. This is funny that you bring that up, because you can ask, the members of the panel. On Tuesday it was, right? I was just like, the Stadia news was 100% like legit. I was like, this is probably one of the better Stadia news in the longest time. And I was talking to some of my guys, and they were like, this is trash. What do you mean? I was like, you talk about same day release with Madden 21. You talking about Android TV support. You talking about 2 games releasing this week. How is this trash? But some people, right, I think personally are just, either they have other experiences with other platforms of cloud game service that they prefer, or they just don't care about the platform. But I was actually, kind of surprised by the response of some people on our team, but to each their own. I do, like you guys were saying, I do agree. There are some people who do, like, they just don't like Stadia. What it might be, I don't know. But like, I back you guys 100% with that. But at the same time, though, there are some people who are straight up like diehard defenders that don't see that other side too. So I think it's good to have a balance, and that's what, I'm trying to accomplish with our guys too. Like have a balance to where you see the positive and negative.
Well, and that's fine. And that's fine.
I was gonna say, Now, please touch on the fact that we have. I mean, we can pull up the tape, the lost tapes if we have to. But we have definitely been critical.
We have. Enough, But I think more important than that, like Ace, when you go into when you go to a Chinese restaurant, you're not looking for a T-bone steak, right? Like when you go into a bakery, you're not looking for a 16-cut pizza, right? So when you come to Stadia Dosage News from day one, even back when I saw your videos and your videos influenced me to say, that helped cement, maybe let me do this. When you were having your debates with remember the guy, we talked about it on the one-on-one we did with the guy that just was hyperbole all over Stadia. Since those days, this platform has always been about, all right, there's a lot of misinformation about Stadia. And because there's a lot of misinformation about Stadia, we are going to be the counterbalance to the misinformation. That's what this platform is all about. The thing that helped put us on the map. When shout out to Jazz Gordon, I ain't got nothing against him, but when Jazz Gordon of Windows Central put that article out, Destiny 2 on xCloud now renders Stadia useless. Now, did you believe that article? Did you believe what was in that article?
What was the heading again?
The heading was Destiny 2 on xCloud. This was last year. Destiny 2 on xCloud now makes Stadia useless. Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe that. 100%.
So
no.
We came out there and created an article as a counterbalance to that. Now,
fair enough.
He had a lot of points in there where he talked some things about Stadia that, were negative and true, but that wasn't my focus. My focus was the main thesis of this article is you're rendering this platform useless. Our big thing is that there's media, there's entities out there that want people to not even touch Stadia. So they'll put hyperbole, they'll put misinformation out there. And we've always been a cross balance of that. We've always done it from the beginning. Here's what I think is happening though. And nothing against anybody. I think entities out there now think differently of Stadia. They're not as enthusiastic about it as they once were. And that's fine. But that's not us. So we've never changed from day one, and other people have changed and they want us to change with them. And we can't. Because again, this platform is to be a counterbalance to the misinformation that's out there. Now, to Storm's point, we have been negative. I want to wipe the word negative. We have been critical where we needed to be critical. Like, for instance, just before you came in the chat, we were talking about the issues that Stadia was seeing with the NVIDIA Pro Shield. And that's why we asked people to give us their beliefs on the whole thing. We got people in the chat, Cold Blood Sensei, Aminor, all types of stuff.
Can I say something about that though? So the way you started that conversation, you talked about NVIDIA, and then you talked about GeForce Now, and then you talked about Doc's experience with GeForce Now, pretty much putting GeForce Now down, running terribly on the NVIDIA Shield. So you get what I'm saying? And then you talked about, Google Stadia. So in the way you were putting its competitor down before you actually, talked about it's. Do you see what I'm saying there?
I see what you're saying because your focus is positive and negative. My focus is facts.
I'm focused on a good balance. You know what I'm saying? Like good balance.
Yeah. So, all right. So let me give you another example. There's 10 of us in a room, right?
Sure.
And say, Ace, you like to wear baseball caps, right? There's 10 of us in a room.
For sure, yeah.
Say if 7 out of the 10 people say Ace never wore a baseball cap, right? For the sake, and then 3 of us said, no, Ace does wear baseball caps. for the sake of balance, do I then say, well, you know what? So, let's make it 50-50 when there's evidence to the contrary. Ace wears baseball caps, right? So I get what you're saying about putting down GFN. I was bringing up facts about GFN. When people bring up facts about Stadia, like how we talked facts about xCloud running at 120, and we needed Stadia, and we need Stadia to also run at 120. Was that not critical of Stadia, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll answer that, but just to go back, you said Wendy's facts, right? What's the facts with GFN? From what you were saying, Dog had a bad experience, and I actually, if you go back to his video, I actually comment on him, telling him, "Yo, hit me up. I'll help you have a better experience." I don't know what he was doing, but he did have a bad experience. But is that the fact that you're referring to when it comes to GeForce Now running bad on the NVIDIA Shield? Because everyone else I know, Sunny has tested it 4K upscale and works great. And I mean, NVIDIA Shield runs GeForce Now like a boss. And so when people like, the experience is terrible, I'm like, what are you doing wrong? Or what's your internet connection like? Because the majority of the people who've tested GeForce Now and the NVIDIA Shield have nothing but praises about the performance. So I asked Doc, I messaged him. I was like, yo, hit me up. Let me help you, get a better experience with that. So I mean, is that the facts that you're referring to, though?
So let me ask you: when did he contact you, and did he say he had a better experience after he contacted you, or no?
He didn't contact me.
Okay, all right. He didn't
contact me.
So
yeah.
And believe you me, I talk to Doc all the time. I was referring to his experience. Nowhere did I say, "Oh well, GFN is crud." Don't let the theatrics fool you. Okay, I said everything that I said was factually right. I said I didn't believe in having to buy a $200 piece in order to make my stream quality okay. And then I said, then I heard Doc Dark went out there and he had a bad experience with the NVIDIA Shield Pro, and I said, no, you know what? I'm really not getting it. Then I said, but I heard that it could help Stadia, so I might give it a try. But this is all interesting. None of that is unfactual. I was just talking specifically about what his experience was, what my thoughts were. Your concern is balance as far as whether it's good or bad. I'm about giving facts, chronological order, things that have happened that I can speak to. I don't just go out there and artificially create a balance just for the sake of balance. I go and follow facts, and I follow where the facts have led me. And up until this point, the facts have not led me wrong. So everything that I said about Doc Dark, I get what you're saying about, well, it may have made GFN look bad. If I go get an NVIDIA Shield Pro, if somebody wants to say, well, you know what? I understand what you were saying, MM2K, but I know more people that had better experience. That's fine. But that still doesn't negate what I've heard from Doc Dark. So nothing I said was infactual. If you want to sit there and counterclaim that, hey, I know more people that had an okay experience with GFN, that's fine. But that still doesn't negate what I said about what I think about having to get a pro and what his experience was with somebody that I spoke to.
Okay. But so you're based on those two things, those are the facts that you're referring to, right? Okay. So you're just the viewers that you have on right now. How do you think they're gonna take this message about GeForce Now performance and the NVIDIA Shield based on those two facts that you just presented to them?
They're going to take it as an account from somebody that referred to them, or they're going to listen to what MM2K tells them all the time: is kick the tires and look for on your own account. Yeah. See, here's what's happening, Ace. Which I get it. I get that people may have a different opinion from me, and so then therefore they say, oh well, you're only doing this and you're only doing that. When you make that assertion, you're only caveating my message all the time.
Okay.
I say, kick the tires, do your own due diligence. Here's my experience. And my experience is a counterclaim to this or whatever. I have no experience with GFN. Doc Dark did. I was just relaying Doc Dark's experience. I've said what I've said about GFN, and I've had people like 04 Games in the chat say, well, MM2K, that's not my experience, this, that, and the other, and I've read their chats. But what we shouldn't do is, see, I'm not going to agree with you, you're not going to agree with me, but let's not caveat the message. At the heart of our message here is we follow facts, we talk about things that have been shown to us, and Doc Dark showed me, and I've asked him several questions about it, and he showed me where he didn't have a good experience. And you're right, there could be more people that do have a good experience. I never said, oh, GFN on the NVIDIA Shield, by far, it's horrible. I gave an account. However, if somebody wants to counter the claim, that's fine. But at the heart of our message, we always tell people, kick the tires. Don't go off of what Project Storm says alone. Don't go off of what MM2K says alone. But don't think we're capping because we got the evidence. That's what we're saying. So again, what you guys do is fantastic. It's great. And I'm not being facetious about that. It's good that you do that. We operate from a plane of experience, facts, chronological order. So I'm not looking at it as, well, somebody must be saying something negative about this. If my experience with something is good and I don't have any fathomable evidence of anything bad, I'm not just going to yank bad out of there just for the sake of spotlighting it. We follow facts, the majority of facts, and we follow the evidence. So that's what we do here.
Yeah. Now I was going to throw in. Right. Paul Harris said Stadia. So right now we're having a good discussion, right? So I wanted to throw in. Yesterday I did a stream, for example, Ace, right? And you know me, like I chop up, I play everything. I'm vocal about everything. I say what I mean what I say. So I feel like one is better than the other one. I try my hardest not to bash, but then I do admit that there are times when I see people doing it across the street and they're aiming every arrow at Stadia, trying to black out the sun, a 300 reference, right? At Stadia, they want Stadia dead and everything, Ace. And I'm always vocal about this, right? I'm like, yo, wait a minute, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit over here and listen to you talk about Stadia like there's nothing wrong with your favorite way to play. Now, I know that might seem childish on the surface, right? But we're all consumers, we're gamers, and most consumers believe what they hear. Granted, this is why Stadia is in a position where it is going to have to continue to make the moves that it's making for people to believe in it, because these people are easily influenced by the naysayers and the haters and the people that spread that misinformation. So what I do is I'm like, yo, not only am I going to tell you about GeForce Now, let me boot that up for you. It's right here on my desktop over by PS Now. And then down from Amazon Luna, that's on my desktop. And everybody that tuned in, y'all know I don't cap. That's what it is. Check out the show from yesterday. You see me doing this all the time. So that's what I do. I'm like, yo, I'm not just going to tell you about xCloud and how it was performing like subpar. I'm showcasing it live, Ace. And I think more of us could benefit from doing something like that instead of saying, yo, I have the worst experience. Well, can you show that? Because when you hit Stadia customer service up, y'all, what's the first thing they ask you to do? Can you send me a clip of that, please?
Right.
They want to confirm that you're not capping. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame them, because that, that's what they had to do as far as customer support and all that stuff, or people will be sending devices back like crazy, and they're working fine. They're just trying to get over on the system or whatever. But look, so that's what I'm saying. I always try to do that. And if I say something about xCloud, believe me, 9 out of 10 times, I probably can show you. If I say something about GeForce Now, Shadow, Luna, I can probably duplicate what I'm talking about. And I have done that. So, in this game, I don't even like to do that. I've been on stream to say, Ace, yo, I don't even want to hot spotlight. I don't want to talk negatively about all these services right now, because we need all of them. And I know you said that before, Ace, because I've heard you say it.
For sure.
I've heard you say it countless times, man. So this is what it's all about. And I think this right here is a discussion. I was smiling, man, when y'all first started talking, because I'm like, this is what we need to do. Keep it real. Yeah. Like, if Stadia runs great, and that Stadia is still making moves and they're getting games, like you said, and this is how real you were. You just threw out and shared with us the fact that you disagreed with your team. I said before you came in, before you even got in the chat, or you might have been listening, but I said, MM2K, I might not agree with you. Before we went live, I said, we might go at each other's neck today, bro, and that's what we have to do. I just wanted to throw that out there, because this right here is always cool, man. Now, and when he's talking about the facts, we try our best to deal with the facts, but some people throw facts out of the window. They throw facts. Stadia don't have no games. Stadia Everybody left. SG&E closed. Is over for Stadia. You start seeing this stuff in lights. So we came out with that, and then Stadia 100 and stuff like that was formed. People criticized that. You know what I mean? All we were trying to do is say, look, man, we know there's a lot of stuff out there that might not be based on facts. But if you do want something that's based on facts, and you want us to show you to those places, Stadia 100 and see Ace, and that's what's going on, man. There's a lot of that going on too.
So tell me more about that. What do you feel like is going on with the Stadia 100?
So real quick, to be clear and frank, like there's some people that never bought into the idea of Stadia 100 from the beginning, man, only because they saw who was affiliated. And I could tell you, this is my personal feeling. MM2K is kind of notorious for good reasons and not so good reasons, right? But the not so good reasons comes from the people that don't take the time to really talk to this dude behind the scenes. So they're like, oh, he's loud. He's always capping for Stadia. That's what they think, man. Same with me sometimes, same with Stadia Revolution and others who are always trying to like show people. It's almost like we got to show people that Stadia does do what we say it does, you know? So there's a lot of people out there that got mad at Stadia for different reasons, Ace. Like whether Stadia didn't do enough for them. Maybe it was that. Stadia's not doing enough for me as a consumer. I'm out. But I feel like, Ace, that maybe xCloud had a lot to do with that. And that's cool. Consumers go where they want to go. But do you have to now take the opportunity at every turn, Ace, to say Stadia's not doing this? Stadia better deliver this game. Stadia needs to do this. Here's my list. If Google's not doing this, Google, why? And as consumers, they have a right to do that, right? But the thing is, I'm not seeing the same questions going to the other services that they're talking about and praising. They have issues too. Like it's so many things wrapped up in that, man. We'll have to do a whole nother show, but I just want to throw that out there as part of the reason.
Yeah. So you're saying that you feel like people are taking shots at Stadia, right? But they're not taking shots at other company who
it's not balanced. It's not even.
Yeah, it's not balanced. Yeah. Okay. Kind of like what I said earlier, find the balance, right? For every platform, not just Stadia. But yeah, I agree. I'm seeing that too, man. And it's crazy because like this community was tight as hell when, you know, Stadia was around. Tight as hell. You know, we wanted everyone to be, you know, successful. We put people on, we, you know, help people out. But now it's like this divide, and it shouldn't be that way. But unfortunately, it is. And I'm just saying that needs to change if it can. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole divide. I mean, you know, like you were saying with Stadia 100, people have a negative thing thinking that, you know, Stadia 100 is just people who only, you know, want to praise Stadia and showcase Stadia, right? And they feel like they're not a part of the Stadia community if you're not repping Stadia 100. So that's another thing right there. I don't know if that's the message y'all are trying to push out with Stadia 100, but that is what the community feels is going on with Stadia 100. If you're not for Stadia, then you're excluded, right? Don't use our hashtag. Don't, you know, like, you have to put 100% Stadia content, or you're not a part of this.
Let me say
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're just putting it out there the way you see it. But I want to say this before real quick. See, people would have known if they had put one and one together from the top. They would have said Project Storm damn sure doesn't play Stadia only. So if he could be in Stadia 100, if he could do that and use the hashtag, I can too. But then we went out there and said numerous times, man, we said it to anybody that wanted to listen, right? This is a way to highlight and promote new content creators, to bring new people in that's, you know, engaging with the Stadia community right now. This is a way for them to see and learn all things Stadia, to get to know all of us as content creators, all of us, you know what I mean, whether you're making full-time 100% Stadia content or not. But I think people, we know what the word 100 means in slang terms. That means real. That means, you know what I mean?
Real.
So I think some people assumed that's what the 100 meant, and then they ran with that. Now, we tried to clarify, but it's kind of like, you see what I'm saying, Ace? Now, if you're coming out here and you're sending a message trying to clarify, and people still come up with their own belief cycle and keep on saying, I'm not going to rock with it, that's on them at the end of the day, I think. But MM, what are you going to say?
Here's the thing. If we're going to have this discussion, we got to keep it real.
Yeah.
We got to keep it. We got to keep it 1,000. The hell with it. 100. We got to keep it 1,000.
For sure.
Look, when we and I think this conversation is puts a highlight on this. And again, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to be, let's really look in the mirror and see where a lot of this stuff originated. Like we hear, I would say that I'm less rabid, less vocal, less staunch than I was. I was dropping videos on Tom Warren, battling Paul Tassi, going after Business Insider. Man, I was on a tear. All things Stadia, going crazy. With all the theatrics.
Yep.
I don't do that anymore. I don't even do that. Battling against content creators like this is Beat Street or something. I was going crazy, right?
Yeah.
I don't even do that anymore. But what has stayed consistent is I believe in the platform. I believe in what they're doing, and I'm optimistic about the platform. Am I always 1,000% positive on Stadia? No, I wasn't 1,000. Well, I don't like using positive, negative. Am I critical of Stadia? Yes. I'm willing to say, and I dare somebody to challenge me on this, because a lot of the people that want to put that moniker on this platform and put it on me were the same people that were hitting me up behind the scenes and saying, "That a boy, I love when you did it." See, they were only showing up when I was critical of Stadia. But when Stadia got rid of SG&E and they didn't properly communicate it, nobody was on a bigger tier than I was. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm not one of those braggadocious type of people. But I'm going to put that. But we got to put the facts where they need to lay. Was nobody on more of a tier than the SG&E thing than I was? I did 3 2-hour shows back to back to back to back. And again, like I said, a lot of the people that said, "Oh, MM2K is this and is that," they were behind the scenes hitting me up, DMs, Discord, all this stuff. "We love what you're doing," showing up in chats all of a sudden, until I had something good to say about Stadia again. Then they all scattered like roaches when the lights come on, right? So a lot of this stuff let's be honest, we're all content creators. And this is where I think discussions like this are great, and I got the utmost respect for you, Ace. As a content creator, this is where conversations like this, either live or behind the scenes, need to happen, because people get inklings on, well, what does this mean from this content creator, from other content creators? So if I drop Stadia 100, we're very clear in the messaging. Then I go to my homie Clive, and Clive comes out there with an even better, clear messaging. And people are still like, "Well, I don't know what it is," but I see content creators out there like, "Well, you got to choose between Stadia 100 and Team Stadia." When we've been very clear that's not the case. Is that indicative of us, or is that indicative of other content creators? So what I'm asking my fellow content creators, and I'm glad this conversation happened, is, look, if you want to look at me, look at our body of work. We stayed the same on our enthusiasm of Stadia. Right. As a matter of fact, we tampered it down. I'm not going after Paul Tassi. I'm not going after Wrong yet. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I've even told people, don't do that anymore. Do things in decency and order. Was it me that changed, or was it y'all that changed? And if people are misunderstanding our message, is it that they don't like what we're saying, or they don't understand because fellow content creators aren't helping them to understand? See, we're going to keep rolling regardless. But I think that's a question that the community has to ask itself when it looks at the divide. Are we making sure that the message is clear from all of our fellow content creators? I remember I created a DM out there a year ago. I am part of, and this is what, when I make a lot of this stuff, Ace, I get a lot of these ideas from me being with some of the most staunchest battling content creators out there in the Xbox and PlayStation world. We have a DM where we clown each other and do all this other stuff, but we're sharing information. We're trying to build each other. The Xbox people trying to build the PlayStation people and other stuff. I tried to create the same thing here, and it fizzled and popped like a bad boil.
Yeah.
So is that a reflection on MM2K and Stadia, Dosage, and Project Storm and everybody else that makes this platform what it is, or is it a reflection on the content creators? That's what we got to ask ourselves.
So, that's a great question. But let me ask you this though: what is the message? What is the message that you're trying to pass across with Google Stadia? Because you were saying earlier you're trying to display message. What is that message?
The message that we're trying to pass along about Google Stadia is, again, we're a counterbalance to the misinformation out there. That's the theme of all of our videos, a lot of our content. When we do shows like this, it's just all things Stadia. We talk about whatever. But whenever there's a narrative about Stadia that's out there, that's negative, that may lead people away, people like Bippity Bop, people like Squid, who were thrown away from the platform at first, and thank goodness they were able to come back after they found the truth. We're trying to be a beacon of light for those people that might enjoy the platform. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. So we're counterbalance to the misinformation. Now, when we have sessions like this, if there's something negative, we don't just pull negative stuff out of there. We look for the negative stuff that'll impact those people that are truly optimistic about this platform, but they may be impacted, whether it's critical stuff or non-critical stuff. That's what we talk about here.
Okay. So just to be real with your viewers, the people who are following you, what I'm hearing you say is you want to provide a platform that I would say sheds the positive information about this Google Stadia, right? So the stuff that are not factual, you kind of, call that out or eliminate that, but the stuff that you sense or your community feels like is factual, that's positive, you bring that to their attention. Would you say that's the message for your channel?
No, better yet, the message of the channel is misinformation, stuff that we take that we prove is misinformation. We put a spotlight on it. Like, let me give you an example. Okay. A lot of people think this is negative when I say that Stadia is not a premier platform. You hear me say that a lot. I even heard you reference to it on one of your shows. Stadia is not a premier platform. Stadia is working towards getting to the big stage, but right now they're not worried about that. They're building. A lot of diehard Stadians will hit me up. No, that's not true. Stadia is better than Xbox. No, calm down. It's not a premier platform yet. A lot of people consider that negative, but when you look at the facts, when you look at the articles that me and Storm bring up, and me and Storm ain't 100% on this, but when you look at different things that are out there about the platform, we put it together, the facts, and it points to that them and Amazon, and in some regards, GFN, they're building their platforms not to rush to the main stage. They're building their platforms. They're trying to get engagement right now. And it's going to be years from now, because this is a 2% business, even 7 years from now. But this is a small cap business in a small sector of gaming, and they're just building the infrastructure right now. So when I say that, that's considered negative. A lot of Stadia diehards don't like that. It's not about positive or negative here. It's about facts.
Why, just real quick, why do you think they would consider that negative, though?
They consider it negative because they want Stadia to be considered better than PlayStation and Xbox in the eyes of everybody. They're just not ready. And that's not the case. I mean,
but real quick though, who led that message to begin with, right? I mean, from the launch of GDC, they presented that. I know, again, you did a good job uncovering the interview that was done, but the way this platform was launched, Phil Harrison pretty much put the system out there in competition with consoles. I mean, that is the message. I mean, sign me up. That's one of the things that got me excited for it, right? Teraflops more powerful than the PS4 Pro and the Xbox, One X combined. That is the message that was put to light. So people who actually invested in this platform after watching that GDC conference, that is the promise that in a way was made. So wouldn't you say they have a reason to be mad though? Because again, a company is promising them that.
Man, hold on. Let me ask something real quick. What about we believe in generations and we're focused on exclusive games and all that stuff on the other sides. You see what I'm saying? It's the other sides that we can't lose track of, man. That it's not just a Stadia thing. Stadia is new to this race, man.
I agree, 100%.
And that's what I'm saying. They don't get a pass on everything. We're the consumers, right? At the end of the day, our voices are powerful. But at the same time, Ace, and I know you have to get tired of it, man. The drama, the jokes, the pranks that's fired at certain individuals, the names that's being called out and all that stuff. You know about that just like we do. You know what I
Sure.
mean? I was referenced to, and I have to bring that up now since we're here. My name was brought up in MM2K in the chat, and we dealt with that, and it should have been handled better when it comes to your side of town and CGX and everything. That people out here, they might know that something went down. I'm not going to go back into it, but look, so that right there is that's extreme negativity if we're going to talk about negativity, right? The way that went down. Now, so if we're going to talk about fixing the whole thing, we got to get into that. Now, I don't know how that was corrected on your end, but I know that over here, I was just like, whatever. And then as time goes by, I'm like, man, we're grown ass gamers. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So then Jerry comes in the chat. What's up, Jerry? I was in there, Ben, Hell Monkey, whoever the other day in a show. We're gamers, right? First. But when people come out here and they try to discredit what you're saying, they're trying to label you as these people that you're not going to sit there and take that. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to take that, and we're not going to take that, but we try our best to avoid all confrontation. But it gets to a point where you're like, wait a minute, that's just flat out wrong, man. The people need to know the truth. So it's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So you can't, there's a whole lot that needs to be looked at if we're going to fix what the issue really is. Like right now, we're talking too much. I think it's too much talking and not enough going through what Stadia is really doing and like the show. And I think, I feel like the show needed to go this direction because this is a part of how we grow. This is part of how, this is clarity for the people that's new and trying to figure out what the hell is going on with people in the community or those who've moved on, but still talking like they're in the community. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. So this conversation might need to continue a different time to tell you the truth, man, to get deeper into it.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. And
I just
go ahead.
I just wanted to respond to that. So again, keeping it because I like to keep things on the thesis. The thesis is Stadia Dosage. Why don't we think it's important that people focus on that? Well, we focused on it here. I've been on our Stadia the Stadia show that I did with the other part with Club Stadia and all that. We talked about that. But as they're saying in the chat, that was 2019. Like Phil Spencer, like for instance, Phil Spencer told me when I bought my $500 Xbox that I stood in the line for, scraped up all my money, got my new TV for. He told me that when I bought my Xbox One X, that, and that was 2 years ago. He told me that software was at the crux of that launch. And guess what it launched with? Super Lucky's Tale, Zoo Tycoon, Phantom Dust with the original assets, and Forza Horizon, which is a great racing game, but everybody don't play racing games, including myself. We were talking on AAA. Now, that was 2 years ago. Am I still going to jump on Phil Spencer's case because of that? When are we going to, like, for instance, shout out to, what was that, PG, Donnie of PV&G, I forget the name of the network. They were covering Stadia with you guys at the beginning. They looked and saw what was going on. They said, hold on. We saw the GDC. We thought we were getting this. But now we realize it's this. And guess what? They roll. They roll. So, I mean, and I'm not saying everybody has to roll, but we're almost 2 years. We're starting to get closer to 2 years, a year and a half after the fact. Are we still talking about GDC and the bad rollout? The rollout was bad. But the platform is 1,000 times better now than it was back then. So why am I still going to focus on something when I don't do that with Halo Infinite? I don't do that when we believe in generations. I don't do that elsewhere. Why would I do that? Why must we do that in order to be a legitimate platform? That doesn't make sense. Why would we do that for Stadia when we don't do that elsewhere? And this is a new emerging platform. Why would we do that?
Yeah. So, I agree with 100% what you're saying, right? I straight up 100% agree. The thing I think a lot of people have, just to answer your question, you said earlier, why should someone get upset, right? And I clarified that by bringing up the 2019 GDC. Just to answer that, they should get upset because, again, they made a purchase based on a promise. That's why I brought that up. But I think for years, Google has made significant progress. Again, the launch was terrible, but look where we are now. We have a great platform that plays well, that has a lot of great games same day release. I agree to that 100%. But I think what a lot of people are still stuck on, you brought up Phil Spencer and how they make promises as well. But something you see, Phil Spencer might not like come out and like, even though he does sometimes, and apologize and say, okay, look, this is the mistake that we made, but this is the new shift of our company, right? I think a lot of the flag that people are giving Stadia right now is the fact that something significant like the closure of the first party studio happened, and yet no one has really truly communicated about. I know, again, they give us 100-game roadmap, but that is not coming and saying, yo, this is what happened, this is where we're going. When a company does that, they come out and they say, all right, this is, or if they don't even say, their actions, showcases that. But I think that's where a lot of people are still stuck with Google Stadia not moving forward in positive light. The fact that
how many of those same people are bringing up the fact that Amazon had to kill off Crucible and all that, and they still haven't launched an exclusive game yet? And how many people are talking about that more or just as much as the Stadia side of stuff? You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's good for people to understand what this dialogue is about. This is very important, y'all. This is why this is why there's division in the first place. You know what I mean? The promises, Google didn't back us. We're the content creators. We here busting our asses doing what we got to do for Stadia and Google, right? But Google's not showing us love in return. Well, anyway, but that's what kind of started this whole thing. I was a part of the whole discussion. You know what I'm saying? I was out here. People they put their feelings out there, and they still do, Ace. But why are they not talking about what happened on the Amazon side and the fact that the shortcomings of the other cloud gaming platforms or whatever? We just hear, when xCloud gets these blades, I'm telling you, it's over for Stadia. We hear more of that than the fairness.
Right. I hear you with that, but the people that I know talk about both negative and positive. I mean, we do, and people that I know, maybe I'm not, following other content creators, but I can tell you GTP, I can tell you, sorry to put you in here, GTP, but Mark, right?
Oh, good.
You see when Shadow had an issue, they made videos about it, they called them out, right? When NVIDIA games got pulled from the platforms, they called them out. When, Luna, you watch the podcast, I always say, right, Luna, they are relying too much on this beta. They need to get out of it. And Gamer TV, again, he's on there as well. He will tell you the same thing. They're getting too comfortable with the beta tag. They need to get out. They need to roll out in Europe. We talk about all of these things. But
there's almost this mockery, though, and then I'm gonna let it go. There's almost this mockery at times. We pay attention, like we're being recorded. What we type is out.
The internet doesn't go away.
You know what I'm saying? It's just there.
What do you mean mockery?
People laugh, they clown, they joke around. Stadia, it's a sinking ship. We give it 6 months or whatever. Some of those same people, you know what I mean, have these thoughts, and they're just vocal. They're putting it out there, and that's cool. We have been concerned about certain things. MM2K said, hey, we can't promise, we can't say that it's gonna always be around. I won't say that. So we're doing these things in a more, I feel like, fair way when others have this clear agenda. Ace, they want to attack Stadia and they want to see because of whatever Stadia did to them, Ace, and this is a fact right now I'm speaking, right? Because some people have flat out said this. They've given their reasons, right? This is what's going on. Now, I'm jumping ship. It's Xbox time because you know why? Xbox is the best in the world. They have Game Pass. Game Pass is the best for me because it allows me to play all these games, exclusive games, old games. And it just doesn't make sense all the time because people criticize Stadia for getting old games and all that, but then Game Pass come out here and they offer you the majority go old games, and then it's cool. There's another pass. Luna comes out in beta form, and it's a pass for that. Luna has potential and all that. Then when people see that Luna's not doing too much better than Stadia, now we don't even hear people talking about Luna that much. Now, not CGX, but we don't hear overall people happy and praising Luna like they did when Luna was first announced. Luna was supposed to kill off. It was the line in the Serengeti at one point, all this other stuff, man. Now xCloud with the server blades that still hasn't happened yet. But Stadia's out here making big moves. But we're worrying about, but we're worrying about xCloud, Ace. You see how that doesn't make sense to a gamer like me? You know?
Here's the problem. Again, shout out to Charles Oran. It's PSVG. when people were disappointed from the Stadia launch and what they saw from GDC. And again, we've never changed. Where I saw concrete problems, like I don't consider GDC misinformation or they broke a promise. They just weren't clear in their message. Nothing that they said was unfactual. It just wasn't clear. It's like when Trizza Rector asked Phil Harrison, what's up with the 4K 60 and this and that? And Phil Harrison gave him this technical babble. It was technically right, but it wasn't transparent. So Google has and had a transparency issue. That's fine. But when you look at the details of it, it was GDC. They did try to take advantage of being at GDC and try to pilfer off some console people the best way that they could, and it fell flat, and we've been on them about that. There was podcasts where, remember, I talked about Clive Linden. Me and him were going back and forth, and my good brother was good-spirited about it. I said, Clive, even though it was GDC, that wasn't good enough. You know, you can't hide the magical chalupa under it. Y'all remember that? Where I was going back, I was going against Clive Linden, who was defending that. You know what I'm saying? So where we see concrete misinformation and where we see concrete negligence, we'll bring it up. Here's the problem that I had with what was just portrayed right now. We're talking about an apology. How many times does Google Stadia have to come out? Now, they did the SG&E corporate or global letter, which wasn't sufficing. We said that. Then they've said 1,000 times over. Grace has said it in Discord or whatever, and then we've seen it on Twitter. Stadia is not going anywhere. Then there was the Catherine Hasai interview that I kept trying to point y'all to because I talked behind the scenes. I talked to key people. When I say y'all, I don't just mean you, Ace. I mean the entire community. Key people that I talked to behind the scenes that said, yeah, this interview is telling you that Stadia is systematically just doing a reboot, because Catherine Hasai in that interview says, we can't wait to see this happen from 2021 and beyond. And beyond. She says it multiple times. People ignored it. Then these mugs came out for GameIndustry.biz, Ace, and said, broke it all down. Do we want a blood offering or something? Or they got to go give bone marrow live on air? Like, here's what I think is happening. And this is my conjecture, but a lot of times I'm right about this stuff. Unlike Donnie and them from PSV&G, people are still sour about the promise they thought they were going to get with Stadia. They love what the platform is capable of, but they're still upset and they just can't let it go. And what they're going to, and what they do is every time something Stadia is brought up, if it's not meeting that criteria that they still expected from 2019, oh, that don't matter. Oh, that ain't a big deal. And so to where we see a point to what Project Storm was saying is, when you look at the tweets, the internet doesn't go anywhere. When you look at the tweets, you see the ratio of criticism towards Stadia versus the ratio of criticism elsewhere when there's equivalent bad stuff, and it doesn't match up. And my message to those people is, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. I let go of Xbox when I realized that, hey, the direction that they're going into isn't the direction that I want out of my platform, so I let them go. We're a year and a half later, and if you're trying to tell me that, okay, maybe the letter wasn't good enough, but all the stuff that they said over social media, the Catherine Hasai interview with Input Magazine, look it up, and the fact that they came out with GameIndustry.biz and said all that, if that isn't good enough to explain what was going on with SG&E, then you're never going to be happy. You need to look elsewhere. Period.
So,
Ace, before you go, hold on. Let me read a couple of super chats that we got. Shout out.
Sure.
We got a couple of super chats from the homie Randy B. Randy B says, I don't know if he's capping. This is the way he feels. I'm gonna give my brother the benefit of the doubt. But Randy B says, I'm gonna need Ace to stop capping. I've been to their channel and they talk about the negative of Stadia more than the positive. Stop capping. What are your thoughts? What do you got to say to that, Ace?
Now, before Ace speaks, I can say this now. Why would he say that? Is because that's what and Ace. Now this is how we do it, Ace, out of respect, man. I never had an issue with you, none of that stuff. I never had an issue with nobody over there, man.
I'll be right back. Hold on one second.
We were doing that and all that stuff. I've been a guest on your show, Ace. Come on, man. So you know how far. I told people that you are primarily one of the people that's primarily responsible for me even being on this panel right now, speaking, laughing. Like, and that's another example. They're laughing. We got into a discussion that, I definitely tried to clarify as much as possible in the chat, and I apologize to your chat for and all that stuff, man. But we got into a discussion because some things are janky, man. Like sometimes it happens. So I just wanted to say that before you go ahead and chime in on Randy's comment and all that stuff, man. Some people just see things different for whatever reason because of what they're seeing and hearing with their own eyes, man. It happens with us, happens with y'all, happens with everybody. We can all do better.
For sure, I agree, 100%. No doubt. But to answer Randy's question, man, it's okay. So you said I'm gonna need Ace to stop cap, and I've been to the channel and they talk about the negative of Stadia more than the positive. Where do you see that, bro? Sorry. Realistically, where is it the podcast? Because if you're talking about the podcast, yeah, you can say that because again, we have people here. Here's the deal. Right? Creating the podcast, the panel members of the podcast, I try to have, first of all, people who are enthusiastic about cloud gaming, not just one platform. I could have easily created a panel with all of Google Stadia content creators, but I didn't want that. I looked for people who covered every single platform. And that's why we have a diverse panel in our podcast. Those people on our panel are entitled to their opinion. And I can tell you, these guys on our panel do not play around. Most of the people on our panel, they all have multiple cloud game platforms, but not only that, multiple consoles and PCs. And these dudes do incredible testing. They have tested cloud gaming, they've tested consoles, they've tested PCs. So when it comes to what they say, this is based on the experience. I don't control the narrative, right? These are grown men who have their own opinion.
Facts.
And these are the things that they say based on the experience, right? You have Gamer TV. Check out his channel if you haven't. He does a lot of comparisons. You have GTP, a lot of comparisons. You have Chief. You had Mark, who's doing, something different now. And you have Holtz. I would say Holtz is more of a Stadia guy. And Ben, who is in everyone's, DM, everyone's Discord. So he is not affiliated with just one platform. He's everywhere, right? So these guys have tested multiple platforms, and that's where you get the diverse. We're not bashing Stadias based on what they've experienced. They're seeing that there are other platforms who does what Stadia does, probably do it better. And so that's where you might be getting that. And I have to tell you again, before people back Stadia, I created reaction videos back in Stadia. And I can tell you, right, when Stadia was first announced, I was really excited about the platform. Again, watch Sunny's previous videos when I was doing Reaction Sunday. I bashed anyone who had anything negative to say about Google Stadia. But after, the launch came out, after I've experienced GeForce Now other platforms, I can tell you Stadia again right now has the best tech. But realistically speaking, when it comes to the future, I am kind of originally I wasn't, right? Because again, I thought they had this in back, but I'm kind of concerned. Gamer TV says this best, right? You can always catch up with technology. Again, you have the biggest place in the game with Microsoft, they have the biggest play in the game with Amazon, and they have solid infrastructure. Right now, Google Stadia hands down has the best infrastructure, but these companies can catch up in tech. What they cannot catch up, what Google Stadia cannot catch up with now is content, right? So you have these guys working to catch up in tech. And again, you see the recent move with the Series X Blaze come to xCloud. The tech is coming, right? Content, I am really, really afraid when it comes to Google Stadia's future, because realistically speaking, they struggle with that. And they don't have exclusives. That is an issue, regardless of whether you believe it or not, that becomes an issue. So I'm concerned, and I think the members of the panel are concerned about Google Stadia's future. We love the platform, want it to succeed, but there's a lot of concern with the platform. And I think we're not anti-Stadia. We're just really concerned for the platform. And I hope that answers the question. Go ahead.
So here's just to counter that, and then we'll give you the last word, Ace, on get your thoughts on this. I don't agree with that, and I get that Gamer TV and yourself may prescribe to that. I don't agree with that because Google and Amazon and Microsoft too have the best engineers in the world. Now, there's a lot of evidence that shows that Google had a very large head start on this. You can even look at the gamer stacks. Look at what's talked about in the more recent Microsoft gamer stacks when it comes to cloud gaming and what Google said at GDC 2019. And you can tell there's a clear head start that they have. So even though Microsoft is starting to do things and get better, that doesn't mean that the people at Google stopped. They're not going to be able to close that gap rapidly. So Google's going to have the performance gap in their hand for a while, and it's not going to be a flip of a switch technically, as you guys may believe, in my opinion, because of, again, the evidence that I've seen from when you look at the conferences, when you look at the developers and all that other stuff. Here's the thing, though, when it comes to games per se. I get that Xbox has a bigger library, but what makes up the majority of that library? Older games. Google Stadia is geared, and Phil Harrison told you this, they're geared towards the casual gamer. The casual gamer buys 2 games a year, and they have a catalog at most of like 5 to 7 games for their platform at one single time. All those old games that are on Xbox right now, it's not going to matter. If Google, now I agree, Google Stadia has to build up its library of multi-plat games that are alluring and attractive to, and that's for them to work on. But they don't need to have a backlog of 3,000 old games. Their demographic does not care about that. Their demographic doesn't play a plethora of games, which is the casual gamer. Again, Z Huge, this is why I say we follow the facts here. Z Huge, major analysts worldwide, Asian markets and North American markets, told us more recently, which we should have already known, the average gamer buys 2 games a year. The average gamer has about 5 to maybe 7 games in their catalog altogether. So as long as Stadia, where they're likely going to retain a performance gap, Xbox may get to a point to where its performance is good enough. I can agree with that, but Stadia is going to have a performance gap. And if Stadia can start getting the big ticket games day and date like the other platforms, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine for other reasons, but I'm just saying in a traditional gamer market, they'll be fine. What are your thoughts on that?
So no, that's great that you bring it up. So let's look at the recent games that came to Google Stadia, right? Same day and date. They got Outriders. We know where that stands with performance. They got Resident Evil 8, which performed pretty well, but again, we don't know how much this game sold. They got Judgment. Again, we don't know how much this game sold as well, right? So my thing is Stadia, yes, they can get the same day release games, but the thing is, again, we don't know. Just the numbers show, I get that. But I would like to see like real numbers on how well these games are actually sold and performing, right? I think it's good. I've always said if Stadia can get same day release and get, Stadia features integrated and get crossplay towards those games, that is great. But my concern is how long can they keep this going as a company, right? We know how much Google is paying to get these, games on the platform, which I think is great that they invest in the platform. But realistically, when this platform's not making money, right? What happens? We know this with Google is eventually going to shut down. I'm not saying it will, but from a business perspective, that's where things are possibly going to head if Google Stadia is not generating income for Google as a company. So just to say this, right? I think, again, their companies can catch up. So the advantage that Google Stadia has right now is that you can buy same day release games on the platform if they do get it, right? So again, I've been doing a lot of research. Research is my thing. I study this since, like that's Microsoft has already said that they're already thinking about making it possible to where you can purchase games from the Xbox Store and then play in the cloud. They said they're working on that. They're thinking about that. Luna, again, still infant stages, right? We have one channel with Ubisoft Plus. Imagine getting a channel like Activision. Don't know if it's going to happen, but just imagine, or getting a channel like EA Pro, like the PC. When these companies, again, when it comes to tech, they can catch up in tech. I feel like when Microsoft makes it available to where you can purchase games from the Xbox Store and then play those games in the cloud, then what advantage does Google Stadia have? When Luna adds more channels, what advantage does Google Stadia have? So now you have Luna with more channels. Who knows? They might even land channels that Google Stadia struggles to get, right? They can land EA Pro. If they land EA Pro, bring you those PC games again, Luna's Windows based, right? Bring you those PC games. That's an advantage. So we can see stuff like Battlefield, where we don't even know if Google Stadia is going to get Battlefield right now. So content is key. I feel like these other companies are going to make move to bring those content to their platform. As to Google Stadia, number one, we don't know the numbers, right? So why would a company want to port the games unless Google's paying them money to bring those games over to the platform? Why would a company want to bring the game to Google Stadia if number one, sales are not going to be there? Number two, performance-wise, it might not be the best. You look at what happened with Outriders, performance-wise, they're still stuck with updates, right? Cyberpunk ran great, kudos to them, but you look at Marvel's The Avengers is better now, but when that launched, they had issues. So stuff like this, it kind of shows like, are devs really excited about the Google Stadia platform? Are they excited to port the games if Google's not willing to pay them money to get those games on the platform? So when it comes to games, in the future, I do see these companies catching up. And I see Google Stadia still getting games, but then how long can they keep that if the games are not going to sell well on the platform or perform not that great on the platform? So it's just, again, it's too early to call, but I'm just saying, as a cloud gaming enthusiast, I do have some concern for Google Stadia. And when I see these other companies making moves like this, it even further worries me for the platform as a whole. Do I want it to succeed? Hell yes. It'll be great for cloud gaming if it does succeed, but there is a fear that this platform, it might stay the way it is, but I can see the competition one-upping it in 2 to 3 years from now. So that's what I have. If Google comes out pushing 4K 120, getting same day release, I will praise the hell out of it. But from a realistic standpoint, I'm just really concerned for the future of this platform. I don't hate it. I'm just concerned. And that's all I have to say about this.
No, I got you.
Man, if you don't let me get a turn, man, I'll eat.
Storm, let me do this. We'll close out this way.
Over me.
Hold on, let me do this because we'll close out because I got it. I'm gonna chime in just real quick. So I'll respond. Storm, you respond, and then we'll let Ace close out on this. Well, because I want to give him the last word. Here's the thing. I get that. That's your concern, and you're entitled to your concern, and I don't think you can be wrong for how you feel. The question is how you feel aligned with the facts. We're looking at a platform that. Okay, so whenever you are crossing from one generation to another generation when Stadia released, getting optimal gain on whatever you do financially is key. So you had a number of people that gave to the cause, like Zelnick from 2K said. He said we never looked at cloud gaming as something that's going to be this bursting revenue stream. Is something that we have to cultivate. And I think that's how everybody looked at it because it's in its infancy stage, right? So you have that where they're giving to the cause and they're trying to just make some, dabbles in this infancy stage. And then you have a pandemic that happens. Now, people are trying to make money during a pandemic. So if they're trying to make money during a pandemic, the platform that just came out that reasonably has a lower user base, they're going to get pushed to the side a little bit. So you saw a lot of pandemic stuff happening. That's why you saw a lot of wishy-washiness with when Cyberpunk 2077 was going to release for people that were trying to hold their own. You saw some bad ports. But if you look at 2021, Ace, the overwhelming majority of games that have come to the platform have worked fantastic. Okay, we talk about Outriders, but Square Enix just has a shaky. They just have a shaky. Truth. They have a shaky relationship with Stadia. Half of the games were good, or majority of their games were bad. And maybe one, which was Octopath Traveler, was good. That's Square Enix. The overwhelming majority, Hitman 3, Little Nightmares 2, Resident Evil 8, all the NIS games that came over, they all are fantastic. So again, you're already seeing a huge boost on what the games are looking like on the platform. Now, as we go back to the tech, again, from all accounts, when I listen to GDC, where Microsoft is at with this stuff, Microsoft promises a lot of stuff. See, I get that you've done your research, but I have the experience. I've been with Xbox since the beginning. I wasn't a beta tester, but I was with them from the beginning. So you should know, like I do then, that they make a lot of promises that don't come to fruition. Or they say a lot about things that aren't going to come, that are still in flight, that don't land, like VR for the Xbox, a whole slew of other stuff, right? You can just scale up and scale down. So here's this is what we find peculiar, is that when it comes to xCloud, technology that Xbox is kind of like in last place in, maybe they bumped over GFN a little bit with their ability to showcase some 1080 120 hertz games, but they're kind of teetering towards last place as far as the technology is concerned. The fact that this Phil Spencer regime has such a horrible track record with bringing out the stuff that they say to, why is it that their words are taken verbatim? Why do y'all believe that what they're going to say is going to come to fruition, Phil said, but when Google says something, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the AK-120. We don't talk about the further enhancements that have been talked about in the Catherine Hassai interview and other stuff. We don't bring that up. That still has to be seen. But the company with the horrible track record, we believe them for beta. Yes, did they make improvements? Yes, they did make improvements with the upgraded blades. But do those upgraded blades, do they touch Stadia now? No. They don't.
It's still in beta though. To be fair, but they're still testing it out. Yeah.
Ace, look. You know better than that. Beta is just a word. All that beta means is everything that I told you that we're going to be able to do, we just ain't doing it yet. It's just that Google decided not to use the word beta.
Go ahead.
Google decided not to use the word beta, but beta doesn't mean what it used to mean. Beta used to mean that, hey, we're in the infancy stage. We're trying to build something. You ain't got to pay for it, but you can help us test it out and get to the next level. We're going to give you concrete milestones. We're going to tell you when we're going to do this. None of that happens anymore. Beta is just a word.
But let's be fair though. Microsoft never came out and said this is live. People are just, discovering it yesterday. We don't have every single game utilizing the Series X Blade. So until they come out and say, all right, it's official, we've put the Series X Blade, you guys can go test it out, then we can make that comparison.
No, they have confirmed with Verge. They said that we're testing all the time. We're making upgrades with the blades, but we're testing some games.
But they haven't said it's available yet. They said they're
it's not available to the public yet.
Man, let me get in here. But
what does that mean though, Ace? What does that mean? Does that mean that when they do come live, that everything is going to be on the Series X blades or not? See, but what I'm saying is, and see, you just proved my point. When it comes to Xbox or anybody else, and I'm going to turn this over to Storm and then we'll give it back to you and close out. When it comes to whatever Xbox say, we're always willing to take the positive side of it. Just because they're doing this, you could never see that. That could be an A/B test that we'd never see again. So why are we leaning towards the positive side of this? But when it comes to Stadia and their announcements, it's like, well, when I see it, I'll believe it. Shouldn't we be doing that with the company who has the track record of endlessly, continuously not following through with their promises? But I'm gonna let Storm get in here.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, I'm kind of disappointed, man. Ace, I'm a little disappointed, man, because I heard you have these, and your concerns are kind of, I gotta respect them all. You know what I'm saying? Because they're your concerns about Stadia not being around and what Google's track record is and stuff like that, man. See that I just can't see that happen. I think on the other side of the fence, man, I think some of us have to. Like, this is Google. This is a multi-billion-dollar company just like the other ones, right? Microsoft, $1 trillion company, $2 trillion from what I just heard and all that, right? But what I'm saying here is they know that this cloud thing is huge. True. They have cloud technology. They have cloud infrastructure already ready, right? They came in hitting the ground running at 4K 60, as somebody in the chat is talking about right now. In beta form, they came in and smacked all these other betas around. So much so that it made every other company that we're discussing right now take note of Stadia. Shadow went as far as to put a clown logo, clown icon next to the Stadia controller indicator when you plug the controller in. I know that. I made a video of it. I have that proof, right? So that's how they felt about Stadia. Now I want to say this real quick though, y'all. Like, because of Stadia's tech, it already disrupted the cloud gaming space. Already, it just came in and disrupted the damn cloud space.
It did.
I don't think 100%. Anybody was. Microsoft caught them off guard. Obviously, Amazon caught them off guard, and everybody that was about to get in this cloud space, Stadia had to disrupt this industry. I mean, the cloud sector, right? Because they came in 4K 60, and they had issues or whatever, had some things they had to address. Some people criticized them for making false promises about the tech and all that, but nevertheless, it was still running games at 4K 60, up to 4K 60. Now we're talking about the world's most powerful console being put in these server blades over at xCloud. And I'm just going to talk xCloud because they really, along with Luna, I think they really have the most potential to come in, really shake things up when it comes to the performance and all that stuff, right? But they had to come in, depend on, like, out of nowhere, they said, yo, we're upgrading. To me, I took that as, oh, damn, Stadia's here. It works. Digital Foundry and everybody else who was skeptical and all that, they were proven wrong. It actually works. So if they get things together and start bringing games to this thing, we might be in trouble. This is how I see it. Now, you got to look at it both ways, right? So we know that's a fact that Stadia has the best tech in the game. Everybody said that, all of the analysts and everybody, even some of the haters will tell you that, right? But as far as pulling the plug, why would they pull the plug on something that they have in a bag already as far as the infrastructure goes? Like, they know it's going to be a long race. They know that Microsoft's not overnight going to take over the cloud space with tech and everything. And xCloud is still working on getting games as well. They don't have the Fortnite. They don't have the Call of Duty. They don't have the Madden. Stadia has the Madden, though. They don't have the Ubisoft game Spotlight and all that like Stadia right now. How does Stadia come in here, take the EA Spotlight away from Xbox and xCloud? Ace, listen now. Stadia, that's supposed to be dying, comes in here, gets Madden 22. xCloud has that partnership with EA, has EA Play all over it and all that. They don't even have Madden 21. What the hell are we talking about when it comes to that? Now, hold on. I ain't done. I waited. Y'all jumped over me.
Go ahead.
Right? Stadia not having the content you said. But they're getting day one releases, Ace. They've already shown us some big time titles that's coming to the platform. Some of them coming straight from Ubisoft. Rainbow Six Siege is coming to Stadia. It's probably going to outperform what I played on PS Now and xCloud, to tell you the truth, because it's Stadia, right? There could be problems, there could be hiccups, but Ace, man, Rainbow Six coming to the platform, looking better, running better than it does on xCloud. That's a problem, right? Then you're talking about the xCloud upgrades and all that stuff when they upgrade. But when they upgrade, first of all, they still have to show us that they can hit 4K. What happens with all that power if you don't really have the secret sauce that Stadia has to deliver that to the millions or billion people that you're trying to target, man? Like, so all these what ifs, we got to kind of lead them to the side. Now, we're talking future potential. I can get down with that, but I think the what ifs we can lead them out of the conversation because there's a million what ifs on the Xbox and all that other stuff. Sony, can you even get there? You had to go hook up with Azure to even get your stuff rolling. You see what I'm saying? So this is why, Ace, this is why I love these kind of discussions, man, and this is why we like fact checking here, and everybody should do the same thing, man. But then, like the fact that you know, like Stadia's in beta and all that stuff. Like xCloud is in beta. How long is it gonna remain in beta, y'all? How long is Luna gonna remain in beta? Like, what is the deal? Stadia's out here getting ready to, I'm sure, move on to phase 2. Ace, what do you think about them saying that Stadia is already running games at 120 hertz? But by the time it gets to us, it's at 60 hertz. What do you think about the developers that's already saying that Stadia is already 120 hertz capable? We heard that a few times already. Monster Boy is one of the recent devs that has said it. And so we know AV1 Kodak, right? AV1 Kodak, all this stuff. Stadia is the best doing the streaming thing right now. They're upgrading for content creators, like with the I forgot what it's called, but y'all know what I'm talking about, to make content videos and 4K videos load faster and stuff. YouTube, like all these things are being put in place, but like I don't understand when y'all keep coming, like you and other people, and I'm just saying it because you just shared it. Like I don't understand where y'all come from with the whole futuristic outlook for xCloud and GeForce Now and all that stuff. And I believe in all of them, but I don't understand why Stadia is not heavily like on that same plateau. That's it. That's all I had for y'all real quick.
No, I love it. I love it. So I hear the both of y'all, and I think for me personally, this might sound foolish, but I think Stadia has dealt its hands, right? I think they've put their cards on the table. And to me, I'm happy with what we have. Yes, they can upgrade to Gen 2, make their, platform faster, better. I think that's all good. But like, I mean, again, we don't know what's the E3 just happened, no announcement from Stadia. I get same thing with Luna, no announcement too. But realistically, what's next for this platform? You know what I'm saying? Is it just going to be like a Steam, right, for cloud gaming? If that's the case, sign me up. AAA game, same day release with Stadia Futures, I'm on board. My thing though, is I look at what this competitors doing right now, them still being locked in beta. I see a lot of potential, man. I can't stress the potential I see with the competitors. You know, Brian Chappelle again did a video with Amazon Luna saying what happens, right, if Luna launches and has access to its Prime members. You're talking about 150 million. That kills the issue that Google Stadia has with trying to get players to play games, because you have instant 150 million people access to Luna. That's numbers that it's going to take Stadia quite some time to hit. They don't have a subscription model that they have what YouTube subscription, which has 20 million people. But what I think has other people excited is just the potential, right? You see what Game Pass is doing, Series X Blade. To me, I questioned that. You can ask our group. I was like, saying, and I think I did a less chat about this. What happens when it launches and it still can't hit 4K or the performance is terrible? But just based on, again, this is still in beta, but based on what we're seeing, that, I mean, it shows what it potentially, I mean, performance-wise, it's still in beta. It's getting better, right? Not saying it's going to match Stadia, not saying it's going to outperform Stadia, but in beta, you see potential there. You see the moves that
they've been
Xbox and
this cloud stuff for a while. They showed us the Crackdown demonstration. Ace, come on, Ace.
For what?
Man.
For Crackdown?
They told us about the cloud before we knew what the cloud was. You get what I'm saying? They had the technology, Ace. They haven't delivered on that, my man. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like they haven't delivered on that, so we give them a pass, man.
Right? No. So what you'll hear me saying, I've said this for some time. Right now, pound for pound, Stadia is king of tech. You hear it say that in podcast. I think the people on our panel are enthusiasts. These people know they study the consoles. They know how and they see the future of these other platforms. Again, like I was saying earlier, right now I feel like Stadia has really showed its hand. It looks good, but what the other people are showcasing and promising Luna getting more channels, who knows what that's going to look like. Not giving them a pass. I've said multiple times they need to get the hell out of beta. They need to be available in other countries. We talk about that in a podcast. But knowing what the others can potentially showcase is, I would say, it's exciting to some people. For me personally, I like Stadia hands down right now. They're king of tech, right? They're doing it better. But for what the other companies are going to bring in the future, this year I would even say pay close to the fall of this year to what Luna and Game Pass does. But I think, again, like I stated, they can catch up in tech, but content, I think, is what's going to separate these platforms from one another. And I think that's where, in the long run, Stadia is going to struggle. Not saying they're going to die, but they are going to struggle competing with other companies because they're going to catch up in tech.
Yeah, so you don't believe that the company that's doing that, I'm sorry. I know you want to go. I'm going to take real quick. You don't believe that the company is out here showing us that it has the best tech. You just confirmed that, Ace. You don't think they have a winning chance at like leapfrogging whatever these other companies can do who has failed to hit 4K 60?
Okay, so we're talking about tech again. Again, we're talking about tech. And like I said, they're hands down right now. Tech, and I said these companies can.
We're talking about upgrades. That's why I threw that in, because you were talking upgrades, the capabilities of these companies, man. That's why I threw.
I'm saying content is key more than tech.
Okay.
So again, when Xbox brings games that you purchase from the game store into the cloud with xCloud, and again, they're mashing whatever Google Stadia is doing right now. They're not saying they will, but content-wise, they're going to have more content. We don't know what Luna is going to have, but then you have the 150 million people once Prime becomes active with Luna, and then you have, let's say, EA, channels where you can get games like Battlefield and stuff like that. Activision, Capcom, who knows what other channel they're going to bring, but they'll have the content. And again, performance-wise, they might be able to match Stadia by the end of this year. Who knows? But when all is matched performance-wise, content is going to be what differentiates these platforms. And that's why I think Game Pass and Luna looks good. Stadia, again, I feel like have dealt their hands. What we're going to get? All of Ubisoft titles. They signed a 5-year deal with EA. We've seen those. We know FIFA's next. What's the next game going to be available for?
I get what. Okay, I get what you're saying now. I get what
we
I don't agree with
anything with Activision yet. So what?
I get. Okay, I get what you're saying, Ace. Okay, now because I was confused because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, so we're believing in the tech of Xbox, and you're saying that Stadia played its hand. When we had Shannon Studstill herself, what's her name? That left Santa Monica, and
it was Shannon Studstill.
Shannon Studstill herself that recently did an interview and said, I'm paraphrasing here, but there's a lot of stuff that's Google that we created with Google that is not going to go to waste, and we know that Google is the most close to the vest company that there is in there. So why would we even fathom that we've seen their cards when we number one, we got evidence to people that ain't got to kiss Google's butt anymore. Their contracts are over. Shannon Studstill said that there was so much stuff that we developed that is going to be put to use. We got that. We also got the fact that you keep saying that Xbox is going to, they're promising that they're going to do a la carte purchases, and we keep seeing it, but we've seen promises before that never came to fruition. We know Stadia is doing it, and to Luna's credit, Stadia and Luna are getting the Ubisoft games day and date. Some of the biggest games that did explosively well last holiday, they're coming to Luna, they're coming to Google. Guess where they're not coming? They're not coming to Xbox. When you watch that presentation, there was no mention of the cloud for any of the Ubisoft games. We don't know if Battlefield 2042 is coming to Stadia or Luna in some fashion. It's not coming to xCloud because it wasn't there. And that's big because EA is partnered with Xbox. Ubisoft they're putting their stuff on every cloud platform. So when you see the big ticket developers not wanting to get their stuff
that's the key.
With Xbox, but it's going to be available elsewhere for cloud gamers, for sole cloud gamers. That's huge, and we can't, and we don't want to live on a promise and a prayer because I think we're setting ourselves down the wrong path. But now what you said just makes sense to me because you're like, there's content coming with Xbox, there's content coming. So I think you can't base it off the tech because there's too much evidence to the contrary. Google they have a leg up on the tech. Shannon Studstill and others have told us that there was a lot more stuff out there that we haven't seen. Microsoft has just made promises and they're known for making promises. So your focus is the games. And I can dig that. I may not agree with it, but I can dig that.
Say this, man. Hey, what about when they told us now, see, if we're going to believe what Microsoft says, we got to believe what Google says. We have to do that in order for balance to occur, right? So if they said we had so much, it was overwhelming at first. We had over 400 developers who were ready to just jump on Stadia, right? And they came back and reconfirmed that in an interview, right? They said,
wait. When did they reconfirm that?
But no, they had
400 devs.
They had. I forgot which interview it was, but
he said it in a mobile syrup thing, and then Jack Buser said it again in another video interview. Yeah. But I know what their argument is. That was before SG&E closed.
Hundreds of developers and publishers on deck that's making games. Now they said that you're not going to see all these games at one time, Ace. They say that now realistically you got to spread that over a period of time in that same interview. So this is why we highlight this stuff, and this is why we keep screaming facts check, vet and everything, right? So this is what we try to do to the best of our ability, man. And see, this is what more people have to start doing because then they will understand what we are saying. And it's just not us pulling stuff out of our rear end, man. Like these are things that Stadia has told us things they were going to do. And they have delivered on over 90% of them, if not all of them, since launch. They might not have come in the most timely fashion, but that is the case for all platforms. They push things.
Let me finish this point. I get you, Storm, but let me finish this point. My thing is that I get it about the games. I get to where if you're solely looking at Game Pass and you're looking at Game Pass and what's being offered here, Starfield is coming, Halo is coming. And if you look at the lineup that Game Pass has, that's dropping day and date versus what might be available on Stadia altogether, you can see where some people might gravitate. You might have more people gravitate to Game Pass. But I think we got to take tech off the table, Ace. I don't think you're looking at this realistically. You're going off the. I mean, you think about this. Honestly, think about this. You're going off the words of a guy with a track record of the majority of the implementation that he said was coming either is extremely late or doesn't make it. Now, we got a track record of Google who their stuff comes when they decide it's going to come, but if they say something is coming, it's coming. And we got a developer who ain't got no ties to Google anymore. In an interview when she said this, there was so much stuff that we developed that we know Google is going to be able to use in the future. So this thing about them putting all their cards on the table, I don't know if you've done enough research on that end. But I get where you're coming from with the games. But here's my counterclaim to the games.
Sure.
Who's getting the Ubisoft games? It ain't xCloud. Who could potentially be getting Battlefield 2042? It ain't xCloud. Who could potentially be getting Dying Light day and date? So far it ain't. You see what I'm saying? So you could have a situation where you can benefit from both. You can say, I love the Game Pass games, but if I want to play this stuff day and date, I got to go to Stadia. What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. No, that's so. Again, Stadia's model is out. The platform is out. You know what hand is dealt to you, right? You can purchase games same day release. We again don't know what the next EA game is going to be. We don't know if they're going to resign the contract. And like I said, right now, Stadia, we know what it is. And as of right now, Stadia hands down is king. Performance-wise, and I would go as far as to say content-wise. They have the newest games on the platform, games that people would want to play. They have the EA games. They have Red Dead Redemption 2, not just online, the full game. They have games that I would say people are interested in playing. All I'm saying is I'm concerned for the future because I see the potential of their competitors. So again, I know you don't like Phil Spencer. I know his promised things that he didn't deliver, but I have to say with xCloud, he's been on key. He said early this year, xCloud is going to come to PC and Windows. That has happened. He said, end of this month, we're going to be testing the Series X Blade and xCloud. You've seen that happen right now. When it comes to xCloud, I would have to say he's on point. Now, these rumors of Ubisoft Plus coming to, again, we have EA Play already on Game Pass. These rumors of Ubisoft Plus coming. But I think the biggest thing, this is from him. Again, like I said earlier, he's been on point with xCloud promises so far. And he stated that there's going to come a time they're working towards making games that you purchase from the Xbox store playable on the cloud. Imagine that now with Series X blades in the cloud, right? And you're able to purchase games from the Xbox store and play it in the cloud. That defeats the advantage that Google Stadia has. So when it comes to the future, I'm saying right now, Stadia is king. When it comes to the future of cloud gaming, I'm seeing what xCloud is doing. I'm seeing the potential of Luna. And I would say, personally, it has me concerned for the future. I mean, if this is what Google Stadia is going to be, where it tries to get games, AAA games, same day release. We know it's trying because it's paying a lot of money to get these games and they're not doing well. So it's either Google continues to pay this money to these devs or they stop. And
what's not doing well? You said they're not. What's not doing well?
These games are not getting numbers, right? You go to play a game in Madden, FIFA. There's not a lot of people on these platforms. I wish we can see the sales of how many titles these games are selling on Google Stadia. But based on the numbers, when you go to play these games online, you can see that there's not a lot of people online playing these games. So that tells me, that would tell any dev that there's not a lot of people playing your game.
Okay. So yeah, absolutely. Right? And that's what any cloud platform, right? Like the saving grace for Luna and even GFN is that GFN is a conduit to PC gaming. So
exactly.
And Luna, links to PC gaming. So, and again, we've shown the numbers. Cloud gaming altogether is going to have a low ceiling, even Xbox. Like when we saw this big news drop, I think we be in our silos too much. When this big news dropped about Xbox, because I'm connected to the regular gamer doesn't care. They don't care about cloud gaming, and they're not going to. No. They're not going to care. There's a reason why analysts if you go look at cloud gaming analysts, just type that into Google. Mm-hmm. You'll see one day I typed it in 25 different analysts with different projections, but none of them have cloud gaming as a significant source of gaming, even in 2027. At best, it's 4%. That's the highest projection that I've seen. So yeah, all these numbers are low right now because like Strauss Zelnick said of 2K, this is a building phase for cloud gaming. We don't expect it to be anything huge right now. Now what Stadia decided to do is just be its own standalone service. But here's my other question to you, which hopefully you could help me understand this. Sure. So you said, listen to what Phil Spencer said, even though he has a bad track record, I get it. He said that something was going to come early 2021, and yes, they are rolling it out. But he said that more recently. He said that when the thing was coming out of flight. Finally, he said that when it was coming out of flight. But he said other things like xCloud is going to launch with the Xbox Series X further away. As he gets closer to a launch date, if he knows something's coming out on Wednesday and he's right about it, he can't get stripes for that. But here's my question. This is an example of where, again, you can't be wrong for your opinion. And I try to share this with you in the Discord. But hopefully you can understand why we have questions. You said Google put all their cards on the table. But right here, we got an article from The Verge. Google Stadia will let publishers offer their own gaming subscriptions. And it's a full-fledged article about what their plan is as far as getting other gaming subscriptions on there, like EA Access and all that other stuff. So again, my question to you is, why are we so super positive when Phil Spencer, who has a bad track record, says this stuff, but when Stadia says something like this, we don't put this in the equation. Why wouldn't we put this in the equation if Phil Harrison said this is something they're working towards? One of the richest companies in the world said they're working towards getting other subscription services on it. Why would we believe Phil Spencer and not believe Google here? This is what we're trying to understand.
No, that's a great question. And I would say because these people like Phil Spencer go on public record and let the people know what's happened with their platform. This is what I've been asking for the longest. What the hell is going to happen with the Google Stadia platform? Give us a roadmap, right? Give us a roadmap. Phil Harrison, please, if you hear it, come out and publicly address what's next for the Google. Don't leave us. Don't let the content creators sit there and speculate. This was Phil Spencer who made this public announcement of they're going to eventually get, like purchase games from the cloud and play it, purchase game from the store and play in the cloud. I mean, address the people. That's what I'm saying. Right now, it's like we've seen Google Stadia blueprint, right? What's next for the platform? Luna has wiggle room because they're in beta. They can come out tomorrow and say, hey, you know what? We're getting EA channels. We're getting Activision channels. They can do that. Google Stadia is out. They've showed us what the platform's all about. Their goal now, from what I'm hearing, is getting the same day release games, right? That's what we know about the platform. If that's the case, right, we know their hand. Unless they come out and say, okay, this is the future map, this is what we hope to accomplish with Google Stadia moving forward, we're just speculating at this time. You have Phil Spencer.
This is speculation? This article is speculation?
Wait,
that I got up here? The article where it says Google Stadia will let publishers offer their own gaming subscriptions, that's speculation?
Where who said that? Where was it said?
Yeah, this was said. This is from Phil Harrison himself. The Google's upcoming Stadia game streaming service. Phil Harrison has said publishers.
When did he say that?
He said that in 2019, but he said it.
Okay, 2019. Do you know what has changed with the company since 2019? Google Stadia is not again. If we're going to go back to 2019,
what has changed? But what has changed that's significant?
Hold on. The first party studio closing. You just earlier said.
What does that have to do with third party?
Hold on. You just said earlier that we couldn't pull what was said in 2019. We should just forget it because that was 2019 when I was comparing.
I said mistakes. Mistakes.
So what I'm saying is a lot has changed, right? Again, the company, like when it comes to promises, pretty much no more first party studio what they promised, and then we've seen performance wise these performance are not matching what they promised, with it being stronger than the PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One put together. We're seeing games not hit the resolution that they originally promised it to hit. What I'm saying is a lot has changed from 2019 for Google Stadia. It'll be nice, right? People left. Right, Vice President Justice left. A lot of people left. This company is different. Just let us know what, that's what I'm saying. Phil Spencer's giving us that.
I gotta push back on that. How does SG&E explain, and they explain SG&E. They explain it several times over. First time they explained it, it wasn't a good explanation, but they've explained it again recently in full detail. We did this to get more engineers out there to work with developers. What does that have to do with them still in communication with third party? Xbox has changed a lot since they've given out their roadmap. Mike Ybarra has left. A lot of people have left. The senior leads of one of their most important games have left. A lot of people have left Microsoft. The head of the initiative, one of their biggest studios, he's left. So why is it when these other companies go through these, you see where I'm going with this? Why is it when these other companies go through similar changes, we still believe the message, but when changes happen at Google, everything is thrown on its head? I don't see where SG&E has any core, and we've had developers that come out and said, SG&E, I'm a third-party developer. SG&E, Thunderful Games and others have said, even id Software came out and said in an Italian publication, Google is still going full steam ahead. It's a shame that SG&E closed, but it has nothing to do with their third-party relationships. Why is it that, regardless of when this came out, we can believe Phil Spencer's message about xCloud and all this other stuff, even from the stuff that he said a while ago, but when it comes to Google Stadia, and I bet you there's more recent articles about this, that we don't believe it. We throw it out the window and say there's a drastic change, but this drastic change has nothing to do with third party. Developers have said so. You see where I'm getting at with this?
Hey, some people might say I'm wrong. Some people might say, damn, Storm, you're right. But it's because, here a lot of this is happening, man. We keep asking the questions why a lot of people are thinking the way they do, why Ace is thinking the way he does. Man, it's all because people have been screaming for Stadia to get killed since day one. Check this out, y'all. Stay with me, and then I'm done, and I'm ready to get up out of here.
Sure,
yeah. We'll give Ace the final word.
Stadia since day one, before this conversation happened, right? They think now. See, they thought Amazon could do it. Then they realized maybe nah. But then xCloud was announced, so all of a sudden now Bethesda, Microsoft's making moves, so maybe xCloud can kill Stadia off. So that's why I think we're seeing a lot of people get behind what xCloud is doing on Xbox, because they think that they had the best chance to kill Stadia off and become the one thing that gets Stadia up out of here. Because secretly, some people want Stadia to go ahead and fail, man. I'm not saying that's you, Ace. But
I'm not saying it's Ace. No, I'm not saying it's Ace. But I agree
some people do. Ace knows the truth. He knows the truth. He's been.
I agree.
Ace has been around. I used to listen to Ace content. Ace was on Destiny 2 one time, and I said, "Hey, Zer's over here, man," and all that. So I've been this is what I'm saying, y'all. You know, we got to keep it real. I appreciate the conversation today, y'all. I'm telling you the truth, and then I got to get out of here. But that's how I feel, Ace. I feel like people, and we notice the fact that some people want Stadia to die. It's been said all over the world, right? Absolutely. People have heard it by now all over the damn planet. But it's xCloud now that has the potential because of the content, because content is king. It has the games and all that. Bethesda, they paid for Bethesda 7 point something billion and all that, right? So it has the chance. So now you're seeing more people get on board xCloud because of that reason, man. That's just what I see.
Yep. No, Ace, we're going to let you get the last word. Ace, I'm sorry, brother. We're going to let you get the last word, and then we're going to close out. We really appreciate you coming through. So go ahead, Ace.
Man. Appreciate you having me, for sure. No, I understand that. And, like, Project, I'm going to say Storm, I don't get it. Like, this is something, if you're a gamer, Stadia is good, right? Like, this is revolutionary what's going on. Embrace it, appreciate it. If you're a cloud gamer, it's even better because, again, competition is great. You're right. I agree with that 100%. It baffles my mind how many people want. Again, I've made the videos defend Stadia, and it's crazy how many people want this platform dead. I'm not one of those people. I hope you guys can fully understand that. My thing is, as a cloud game enthusiast, as a content creator, if Stadia dies, it hurts our channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to think like, Stadia dying, but realistically speaking, as a cloud gaming enthusiast, someone who's been following this for quite some time now, what I'm seeing, I will just be 100% real to y'all. I'm concerned, in our podcast, and a lot of people refer to this when, someone in the podcast said he gives Stadia certain months. I was like, hell no, like, that's crazy. How can you view that? I'm not going to say names, but realistically speaking, I don't see that. But based on the moves that I'm seeing moving forward, I just have concern for this platform. I'm hoping, and again, if you watch my live chats, I've said this, if I did my undergrad in business. In business, they talk about if something is not working, shake it up, switch things up, and try something different. And with Vice President John Justice leaving, closure of the first-party studios, I actually would say Stadia right now is at the best place to make a change for the positive, for the better. So Stadia right now might actually be in a really good place. They have people who are passionate about this platform, who want it to succeed, working on it. So I'm hoping that this move is good, and then we start seeing them make changes for the positive that grows this platform and makes it really successful. But again, someone who's been researching, studying this for the longest time, these companies, especially Microsoft, they're not playing around, right? And Luna's a sleeping giant right now. They have a lot of work to do, but there's potential there. Stadia got to stay on top of the game. And if they don't, they might be in trouble. That's all I'm saying. Just some concern. Not saying the platform is dead, but seeing what their competitors are doing, I'm just concerned for Stadia in the future. That's it. Gotcha. That's all I want to close.
Well, you got a fan in the chat, and it's a surprise. It's Aminar. He says, this podcast is fire. Finally, someone who's pushing back. He's bursted Stadia community bubble.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I want to say, and I just said it in the chat, man. Ace, when I had a disagreement, me and MM, we came in the chat, y'all, just to clear that up right now. Like, I had a disagreement. Ace let me ride the whole time. Sure. I came in there with the expectation of getting banned possibly and everything, and you let me speak my mind, Ace. And because of that, we're in a better place now, man. So I want to cut it out. Now, we don't have to believe with everything you said, and you don't have to agree with everything we said. Right. It is what it is. But this dialogue should happen. This is how you do it, man.
I agree.
Going out there and causing division and stuff. This is how it's done.
No, just to let y'all know, I closed out 2 clients just to be at this show. I had 2 clients to see, and I canceled them just to be at this show.
Hey, we appreciate. Hey, look, Ace I know the chat was riled up, and it's okay to be passionate, but no, Ace is a stand-up guy. Ace is the brother has come on the platform twice. He's not willing. He's not afraid to speak his mind and do so cordially. He's been the utmost professional, and we love to have him back again. This was a surprise. I wanted to get the brother on because I was a little confused about the points that he was making, and he made his points, and whether we agree with it or not. Like, hey, look, Storm, didn't we say at the beginning of this we was going to have some adult conversations?
Yes,
now, we may have not known how adult they were going to be, but this definitely is an episode for the ages. So, Ace, I just want to thank you very much for coming on, good brother. I think what you do in the community exemplary. I wish other content creators were like you. Just keep it gaming. Let's just talk about gaming. And I don't agree with you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it gaming. I really appreciate what you do, and I think what you do is exemplary, and I think all of us can agree on that, man. Definitely.
For sure, man. For sure. Appreciate you guys having me, man.
No
problem. A lot of fun.
Yep.
You know what it
is.
Man.
All right, have a good one, Ace. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, yeah. Take care,
peace.
Man.
All right,
peace. Peace.
Yo, y'all better check them out, man. CGX, y'all know what time
check them out, CGX. Yeah. Great having him on. We went. Hey, look, the show took another turn. Look, guys, what we're gonna have to do. I deeply apologize. Me and Storm will try to figure out something tomorrow, possibly. Maybe we'll do an after show tomorrow and reflect on today. Hopefully,
we could just do a giveaway and make up. We could do a giveaway soon. Make up for it.
We could probably do that. Link to Ace's YouTube. Look for. He doesn't have a YouTube directly. Look for Cloud Gaming Extreme, starting with an X. Look for Cloud Gaming Extreme, Sean Christopher. But no, shout out to him, man. Look, we're gonna close out, and how am I gonna do this? Because I went over an hour, and I got to tend to my wife. We might hold off until tomorrow morning to do the giveaway for the members. My apologies. We ran over, but I think it was a much needed conversation. Wouldn't you say, Storm?
Yeah, it was, man.
Definitely, and it was a great one. So I'll do the giveaway. I'm gonna be tied up in the morning. I'll do the giveaway like around 5 or 6 tomorrow. All right. So we'll see about that. So again, that gives y'all more time to go sign up. Again, we're giving away 2 Stadia controllers, 2 Google TV units to 2 lucky winners. If you want to participate, you have to be a member. You got to be a member. So if you want to be a member, just hit that join button below, select any tier, and become a member. And we'll figure out, maybe we'll do that for the after party tomorrow. Maybe that's what we'll do, Storm. We'll figure it out. But with that said, Project Storm, let the good people know where they can find you at.
Man, first of all, this is a show that I've been waiting for. Man, I'm trying to, Aminor, I agree with you. This is what I've been waiting for, man. We got to have these real dialogues and stuff, this real discussions, y'all. But you can find me making some more xCloud gameplay videos and Stadia for sure, and all varieties and all that. You can find me in the near future doing that. Native PC as well. Maybe even some Series X. I don't know, y'all. This discussion today inspired me to be the greatest gamer I can be. But you can find me right here on YouTube. The link should be in the description below or whatever. If not, it's Project Storm 8K. Just type that in YouTube search box and you'll find me, Project Storm 8K. And you can find me on Twitter, y'all, at the Nephophiliac. That should also be below. So, hey, I appreciate each and every y'all. Record show. Was this a record?
This was close to it. This was close to it. Well deserved. Well deserved. It was definitely a great show, Kessel. I appreciate Ace coming. I love when Ace comes through, man. Like I said, and again, for those content creators that heard what we had to say or what I had to say in particular, again,
oh, my bad. I was gonna say, notice how we had a discussion without yelling, screaming, arguing, demeaning each other, all that, man.
Yeah, without demeaning each other, we kept it gaming. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not trying to be mean towards anybody else, but we can do a better job in properly illustrating what each other do. Like I said, I'm part of a DM where they do the most craziest stuff, meme each other. Watch Broadband Bullies and see what we do to each other. You know what I'm saying? And those same content creators are all in the DM and we're helping each other. Yo, I just got this latest Xbox news. It was because of collaborations like that I found out. It was on a humbug. It wasn't supposed to be on purpose. But I found out that Outriders was coming to Game Pass day and date. You see what I'm saying? So I think for content creators, this is a call to the content creation community. I think we could do a little bit better. If people are enthused about Stadia, fine. If they're not enthused about Stadia, fine, whatever. Let's have a conversation. Let's have it about gaming. And if people don't want to be part of that conversation, that's fine. But I don't think we got to get to the point to where we got to make people seem evil. You know what I'm saying? This person is evil. Stadia 100 is evil. You know what I'm saying? It's this. Let's dead that. Let's dead that. And let's keep it about gaming. And people aren't going to agree with your opinions. But what Ace did is exemplary. He knew he was coming in the lion's den. And he came in and jumped in the den anyway. So if you got a staunch opinion, be ready to defend it. Like we are. It's no big deal. Shout out to Aminor. You need to invite Young Ye next time. I'm going to do that. Go ahead, Storm. I'm sorry. We'll let you close out, brother. Any final thoughts?
That's all I was going to say. Man, to each and every one of y'all who joined in, who hung out the whole time, Ben, Roosevelt, Phillips, all y'all, man. Like Bibbidi Bop, Junior, Thanos, all in the house, Kendra in the house, man, Kessel Runner, everybody that showed up for that support. State of Revolution, man. There's so many of you, I can't keep up. Gandara joined in late, y'all. And you're right on time, actually. You're never late for real. You're right on time because you're showing support and you're coming for that news. Sean Christopher, man, I can't even talk. I'm so excited, man. Monkey Boy is in the house, man. We had so many people that was in the damn building, y'all. You witnessed a great conversation, but y'all, there will be more. But it's all to get us playing these games. That's what we want to do. We want to play these games. We want Stadia around. We want them to go ahead and compete with xCloud and the best that cloud gaming has to offer to make this thing grow and stronger, y'all. So I'm out of here. Yep. Wife is home. I got a hot plate of food.
Yeah, I gotta go take care of
I will be gaming later. Stay tuned.
All right, y'all. Peace. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.